I look in the mirror and barely know myself. Lines growing clearer. I think I need some help. I swear I'm going out my head. Feels like the world is falling. I'm going out my head. Destiny is short enough calling. I look at the wall, but I can't tell the time. A child of the fall. I need some grand design. I look to the sky and pray to the great unseen. I don't wanna die. I wanna live as sure as I believe. I swear I'm going out my head. Feels like the world is falling. I'm going out my head. Destiny is short enough calling. I'm going out my head. Feels like the world is falling. I'm going out my head. Can't you hear the Savior calling?
Gloria Patri, et Filio, et Spiritui Sancto. Sicut erat in principio, et nunc et semper, et in saecula saeculorum. Amen. I swear.
Going out my head. Feels like the world is falling. I'm going out my head. Destiny is short enough calling. I'm going out my head. I'm going out my head. Feels like the world is falling. I'm going out my head. Can't you hear the Savior calling? I look in the mirror and barely know myself. Lines growing clearer. I think I need some help. I swear I'm going out my head. Feels like the world is falling. I'm going out my head. Destiny is short enough calling. I look at the wall, but I can't tell the time. A child of the fall. I need some grand design. I look to the sky and pray to the great unseen. I don't wanna die. I wanna live as sure as I believe.
I swear.
I'm going out my head.
tui sancto. Sicut erat in principio, et nunc et semper, et in saecula saeculorum. Amen.
To threats that you could easily miss on your own. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's U.S.-based restoration specialist is going to fix it. Save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK, 1-800-LifeLock or lifelock.com. Terms to apply.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's Conversational Radio Show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
This is the Trump country. We live in the Southeast. We drink sweet tea. We don't drink socialist Kool-Aid. Yeah.
It's all Fugazi. You know what Fugazi is?
Fugazi, it's fake.
Yeah, Fugazi, it's a wazi, it's a woozy.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
Joey Clark.
Welcome to the program. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Thank God for another beautiful day. Hopefully it'll be a beautiful show, and Montgomery needs a new mayor. Before we get into the profane mysteries of news and politics, I want to take y'all to church for a moment, if you'll allow me, and entertain me and humor me, whatever. Pick your word. But let's pick 3 scenes from the Bible, from the Holy Scriptures here, and just a few verses to set things up. First is a pretty famous one, often quoted, Isaiah, however you say it, tomato, 6:5-8. And I said, woe is me, for I am lost, for I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips. For my eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. Then flew one of the seraphim to me, having in his hand a burning coal which he had taken with tongs from the altar. And he touched my mouth and said, behold, this has touched your lips. Your guilt is taken away and your sin forgiven. And I heard a voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send? And who will go for us? And I said, here am I. Send me. Next scene. John 18:17-18. This is right as Christ has been brought before the authorities. The maid who kept the door said to Peter, are you not also one of this man's disciples? He said, I am not. Now the servant and officers had made a charcoal fire because it was cold, and they were standing and warming themselves. Peter also was with them, standing and warming himself. Scene 3, from John 21, verse 9 and verse 12. When they got out on land, they saw a charcoal fire there, with fish lying on it, and bread. Jesus said to them, come and have breakfast. Of late, I have grown acutely aware of the words falling from my lips. The more hours of the day I spend in prayer, the more I fear what carelessly spills from my mouth the rest of the day, especially when I'm lost in the false fires of worldly affairs. Politics particularly brings out the worst in me, that the more I swiftly mock or judge too harshly, the more unworthy and unclean my lips seem. If even the seraphim cover their faces and feet before God, 6 wings, one to cover their face, their feet, and to fly. If even the seraphim cover their faces and feet before God, who am I to speak his name publicly or privately? Yet that is the incomparable mercy of the Lord. To those who truly say, woe is me, he will forgive them, and with the burning coal of eternal fire will brand their lips clean. Yet even when our lips are made clean, even when we truly believe, it is astonishing how unfathomable God remains to us. The prophetic visions found in the sacred scriptures often exceed our understanding. For all the evangelists and apologists, pastors and preachers, politicians and pundits, theologians, philosophers and poets, for all the many words that slip from their lips, God remains beyond us. Si comprehendis non est Deus, says St. Augustine. If you comprehend, it is not God. Yet this has not stopped men from striving to comprehend the incomprehensible, nor should it. Did Moses fully comprehend the burning bush? Did Isaiah, Ezekiel, or Daniel fully understand the throne of heaven they beheld in their prophetic visions? Did Peter, James, or John truly grasp the transfiguration of Christ atop that high mountain? No. But they weren't meant to fully comprehend, only to humbly obey by faith, with hope, through love. Man was made to scale mountains whose summits remain beyond his reach, believing in a truth he himself could not have conceived. Yet by striving for a peak he cannot achieve by his own steam, man comes to rely on God in the breach between the seen and unseen. Though God is beyond compare, dizzying to all who have contemplated him as the source of all being, the very source of all being, he has also given man an awareness in his woeful heart and soul that he is, was, and will always be, an awareness given by the most humble, human, familiar, and familial imagery. The other day it came to me, as I prayed with unclean lips for undue mercy, the image of our Lord sitting by a charcoal fire, cooking little fish and unleavened bread, calling us to breakfast and asking, do you love me, in equal measure to all the false fires, the denials we have said. That is an image I can truly understand in my heart and soul. Not of 6-winged seraphim with burning coals from heaven's altar searing lips clean, but the image of a friend, a brother, God made man, sitting by the fire and giving us our daily bread, as he asks for our love and tells us, feed my sheep. That is the image that serves as the master key to unlock my understanding of what the early church fathers themselves had seen, that the burning coal touched to Isaiah's lips was Jesus himself come to set us free. That is the image that lets my lips say, here am I. Send me. Welcome into the program. And again, thank God for another beautiful day. And hopefully it'll be a beautiful show. We have Alan Mendenhall coming up at the 1 o'clock hour. He wants to talk about, because he's been writing about it frequently, the SPLC, the wretched Southern Poverty Law Center. Troy Carrico is here in studio with me. How you doing today, fine sir?
I'm outstanding. Just for the record, when you go into Camp Darby as a ranger, Isaiah's up there. It says, here I am, send me. I think that was very fitting. Excellent work, Joey. Excellent work.
Yeah, but I don't know. I was trying to grapple with, like, there is stuff in the especially the prophetic visions. You're like, what does this mean? Like, and there are ways to get to it, but
you know what's funny is, and I've talked about this at length with some of my other brothers in Christ, and if you really pay attention in the Bible, all throughout the Bible, not just the New Testament, the Old Testament is replete with Jesus being the actual device for that delivery, and it's amazing to me. You hit it good, so excellent work.
Now, in a second, I want to reveal a song. Now I'll jump into the news here in a moment.
Okay.
But I want to get to a song where I essentially want somebody in Nashville to steal it from me.
Okay.
Like, I don't need to sing it. I don't need my name all over it. Okay. I just want to know that the world gets to hear this thing because I've been playing with it. I wrote it when I was 22.
All right.
And then was like, got inspired to bring it back to life with AI.
Okay.
Played it badly myself with my acoustic guitar and wretched voice.
Yeah.
Into the AI, and then spun it up to make it sound like a country song.
Okay, good.
And, in a second, we'll get to that.
All right, we will.
But I want somebody, Ella Langley, steal it from me.
Okay, well.
Somebody steal it from me.
Let me call Jamie Johnson.
Because, I wasn't expecting it. It made a certain person we won't name who maybe works before us in here cry. So, like, somebody steal it from me.
Okay.
But here's the profane mysteries, the news of the day.
Yeah.
Trouble in the Strait of Hormuz. Yeah. That's back in the news.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's a shame.
It's inevitable, Joey. The way this is set up.
Shots fired, trading shots.
It's not going to go well for them.
And Trump unveils a new humanitarian gesture, quote unquote. Here's the True Social post from the president. Countries from all over the world, almost all of which are not involved in the Middle Eastern disputes going on so visibly and violently for all to see, have asked the United States if we could help free up their ships, which are locked up in the Strait of Hormuz or on something which they have absolutely nothing to do with. They are merely neutral and innocent bystanders, says Trump. For the good of Iran, the Middle East, and the United States, we have told these countries that we will guide their ships safely out of these restricted waterways so that they can freely and ably get on with their business. Again, these ships are from areas of the world that are not in any way involved with what is currently taking place in the Middle East. I've told my representatives to inform them that we will use best efforts to get their ships and crews safely out of the strait. In all cases, they said they will not be returning until the area becomes safe for navigation and everything else. This process, Project Freedom, will begin Monday morning, Middle East time. I'm fully aware that my representatives are having very positive discussions with the country of Iran, and that these discussions could lead to something very positive for all. The ship movement is merely meant to free up people, companies, and countries that have done absolutely nothing wrong. They are victims of circumstance. This is a humanitarian gesture on behalf of the United States, Middle Eastern countries, but in particular, the country of Iran. Many of these ships are running low on food and everything else necessary for large-scale crews to stay on board in a healthy and sanitary manner. I think it would go a long way in showing goodwill on behalf of all those who have been fighting so strenuously over the last number of months. If in any way this humanitarian process is interfered with, that interference will unfortunately have to be dealt with forcefully. Thank you for your attention to this matter, Donald J. Trump. So, he is trying to keep it on the rails, trying to get something finished. We're in the month of May. This is stretching out a bit.
I think that the problem that has become readily apparent is the fractured and parochial nature of the leadership of this Republic of Iran. And clearly there was a standard operating procedure or a contingency operating procedure should the command and control break down to continue to do certain kinetic actions. And I just don't see any way you can stay inside the guardrails of a ceasefire when you have a country that we can't even get a straight answer out of who's doing what. Well, right now there's a power struggle, as you know, between MOIS, which is the intelligence service of Iran, and the Basis, which is part of the IRGC, but they're the volunteer militia and the religious police force, and that's kind of fallen away. But so now you've got the Speaker of the Parliament of their assembly that's also being. You got about 3 struggles of power, so that's a problem, buddy.
Oh, that's definitely a problem. But also the blockades by the day. The time now becomes in favor of the United States, and very much less in favor of Iran the more this goes on.
And the more that this goes on, I am led to believe, and I've talked to some people that are very knowledgeable in intelligence agencies, this is also what we've talked about before, a shaping against who? China. It's about preventing, by making them feel the pain of that restriction of flow, which they get a good portion of their fuel from, almost a quarter. It's going to really, it's showing them we have other methods to ratchet you down, China. So.
Yes, and of course, May the 4th be with you.
That's right, May the 4th.
And that is the nerdy thing that's happening today as Trump's trying to clean up the Middle East. And we got a lot of stories from 1819, including a local story about Montgomery Whitewater. The legislature meeting today, open up that special session, I suppose, about redistricting. And you got reactions still falling around from that. But on Star Wars, I have to say, my childhood favorite remains. And I'm not saying it's the best movie. I'm saying it's my favorite as a kid was Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, that was a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's just, I love the sweep of that movie. The intro of that movie is really awesome with Jabba the Hutt and freeing up.
I thought you liked the Ewoks. You like those little furry
I like the Ewoks too.
I knew
especially as a kid, I like the Ewoks. It's like, look how small they are.
The baby Chewbacca.
They're so small and primitive, yet they're able to beat the evil empire. Right.
I like the Empire Strikes Back. That was mine as a kid. That was.
As I look at adult eyes, it's probably the best movie.
Really?
Yeah.
You think so? If you're just being objective, you think that
that's probably the best.
It's incredible. Yeah, they really capitalize on it. So speaking of Star Wars, a good friend of ours, Shane Hudson, my friend, was on a Disney cruise, and he just came back, and they have a cantina. Like the cantina there, because they own Star Wars now. And he said they have a cocktail called the Dilithium Crystal of the Universe, $5,000. Has a rare old 32-year Pappy Van Winkle. Wow. It has all these things, but guess what? It comes in a container. It looks like a droid, and you put in the code, and it opens, and all the smoke comes out, and it opens.
That's crazy.
But you get 4 passes to Skywalker Ranch, not Skinwalker Ranch, Skywalker Ranch, for free to go to Lucas's ranch.
Wow! So you're not just buying the drink; you're buying tickets to the ranch. That's crazy.
He said
that's cool.
There was one person that did it. So
that's pretty cool. If you're that into Star Wars, that's pretty awesome.
That is the May the 4th be with you to the nerdiest that you can be.
Yeah, and I have to say, I think Revenge of the Sith needs more love. The third and the prequels. It's pretty epic in a great way. And the prequels, I think, get a lot of hate, and there's been a lot of more love and appreciation for them since the latest trilogy that came out.
Yeah.
Under new leadership there at Disney. I thought those movies really cracked the bed.
Who is the guy that Shane was telling me he directs a lot? Though there's one really good director that does all the animated. There's a lot of people I noticed that are they've gone deeper into the animated
series are great.
So I have not seen that, so I can't speak.
And I did like The Mandalorian, and I guess they're coming out with this new Mandalorian Grogu movie or whatever. I'm not that itching to go to the movie theater at the moment, but. I enjoyed it. I don't know. It is interesting the time we live in where we can't come up with anything new.
I know. Nothing.
It's all repackaging of the same classic stories made in like the 70s. And really, when you look at what Lucas made, it's based off Westerns. It's based off the hero's journey.
He was heavily influenced by Dune.
Oh, Dune, absolutely.
Because that's the Tatooine, the desert planet.
Very much influenced by Joseph Campbell and his sort of mythic understanding of stories. And definitely especially the first Star Wars, there's this Western feel to it that is fantastic.
Yeah, I love it.
But Yeah, it's like, can't we come up with new franchises, please?
Like what? I mean, you talking about in science fiction or just in
Just
general?
in general. Well, and we also have been in an era where, like, there was this sweet spot in movie making in the late 90s, early aughts, where you could make, like, Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
And make millions of dollars off of it.
Yeah,
and you don't get movies like that anymore.
Nah.
At least not with major distribution.
What Dreams May Come? That was another one like that. That was in that spot. Yeah.
Yeah, there's also where they were kind of these great personal movies, and yet they had the big budgets to pull them off.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess there's always going to be good stuff out there, but it seems like Hollywood is very much lost in the wilderness. And maybe that's for the better for this nation.
I agree. And I think that one of the benefits of streaming and all these independent studios that have started up, they have marginalized the power of Hollywood. They've kind of silenced the George Clooney's of the world and all the people that we used to have to hear under rhetoric. I find that to be a good byproduct of the streaming community.
But I did get a kick out of Harrison Ford and even William Shatner putting out something about May the 4th.
Yeah.
So fun day online. Everybody talking about Star Wars, nerding out. And, it used to be, I guess this was the nerd thing. You were in your nerd enclave talking about Star Wars or even Trek or whatever. And now it's kind of the
Comic-Con. It's
the population. It is the popular
really
mainstream thing.
It is.
Comic book movies as well, though.
They screwed them up so bad.
Marvel's lost me, man.
They went too far.
They're trying to bring everybody back in with Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom, but it's
Too
like,
late.
yeah, and I did like the latest Fantastic Four movie. I thought it was good, fairly good. But like most of the shows and Disney Plus, like I got rid of my Disney Plus subscription and I haven't watched any of their stuff in a long, long time. It's going to have to be a heck of a movie to actually pull me back into theaters to go see it. But it might very well be. I think they
depends, I guess.
Well, there's nothing that harms like whether it's a movie studio or like a talented author or musician or say a political party. There's nothing that harms like somebody like success. Because then you start competing with what you have created and you start to realize oh, that wasn't just me who created it. I was clearly inspired by something in one way or the other. And that inspiration doesn't always come in the same way. And you're now, you're also meeting expectations of people where before you could sneak up on them and sort of surprise them into something great. And so I think, number one, I think that's clearly what's happened with the Democrats. They had so much success in the 20th century.
They sure did.
Huge success in the 20th century as a party. And they achieved so much even going into the 21st century. But I think there's this crack up happening because of that sort of, they started getting too confident. And I would say, woe to the Republicans, especially when Trump has to leave the scene.
We'll see.
Woe to the Republicans. Success can sometimes backfire. You accomplish the things everybody was on board with, and now it's already seen it, especially after Charlie Kirk. Everybody turns their guns on each other.
They always do. They eat their young.
And after especially this war, like the amount of fighting on the right is pretty nuts. So we'll see. Again, a second, I want to reveal a song that I want somebody to steal from me. Real quick, let's do a local story.
Yeah, what you got?
I was looking, I'm trying to get the body right.
Yeah,
it's all I'm going to take my shirt off, though. Still wear a shirt. Like go to the Whitewater rafting place. Yeah. And then it's like closed for a month because they had like algae or something.
Yeah, they had some cleaning, deep cleaning they had to do. Yeah.
Which is a huge screw up. Like this should be like a great kickoff month.
It's a time to be rolling there.
I don't know that much about running a whitewater park, but apparently I would imagine like right now it was a little chilly today, but still like this is prime time here, baby. Right as we kick off the summer. Well, because of this, and I think other matters, the members of Montgomery County Community Cooperative District Board, they oversee Montgomery Whitewater, fired Jason Wilson, the executive director of Montgomery Whitewater, on Thursday afternoon.
Wow.
The board, which oversees the operations of Montgomery Whitewater, passed a motion to terminate Wilson effective immediately.
Darken our halls no longer.
At a board meeting on Thursday. Over the last several weeks, the board has closely examined and observed and taken a deep dive into all of Montgomery Whitewater operations and workforce alignment. The question for the board is, do we have the current leadership in place right now to ensure that we can reach a level of consistency and stability to ensure that this facility will be productive, safe, and profitable, and not necessarily in that order, said Bobby John Drinkard, board chairman.
Okay.
got a chairman with the last name Drinker.
He hangs out with young Boozer.
Yeah, good names. These are good names. Good Southern names. Michael Jenkins, vice chair of the board, said at the meeting, given the fact-finding mission that we've been on the last few weeks, we've learned a lot.
Okay.
According to what we've learned, I think it's appropriate to make a motion that we relieve our current executive director of his duties and responsibilities at Whitewater effective immediately.
Wow.
Immediately.
Wow.
Montgomery Whitewater officials announced last Friday that its on-water operation would be closed for approximately 1 month at the start of its peak season. But there's still the rope course in the restaurant.
You're right.
A Montgomery Whitewater spokesperson said the closure was due to water filtration system maintenance. So it was turning green or something?
You know what I think? I think that big federal grant they got to do first responder training, they probably had to check things out, and they probably said, yeah, this is dirty.
Yeah, this dude was, by the way, named director in June of 25, so he didn't even make it a year.
Wow.
That sucks.
Well, you know.
I wonder what happened.
I'm going to guess if we talked to him and had him in the studio, he'd probably tell us a whole different story about dealing with the city and stuff with it.
So when are the Porch Creek just going to buy the place?
Whenever they decide, I guess.
Because that's where this is going.
I know.
And it might be necessary. Now, there's some folks making the argument, we'll just make it a line item on the on the county commission or something.
Right. We can't even afford it.
Heck, let's even bring in the city, make it a partial line item. We'll kind of have a line item in our respective. It's like, no, but we have line items for the zoo. It's like, yeah, that's the zoo.
Listen, you know this thing was born out of ARPA money. This thing was hatched out of that American Recovery Project with very little consideration how we're going to maintain it. Just build it, and now we've got to maintain it. It ain't cheap.
Yeah, and then sell to the Porch Creek. This is where it's always, I think, was going to go.
They could have liquor, and they could have gambling there. It'll be fun.
It'd be interesting to see where it goes. But from the get-go, I was not one who would have voted for this.
Me neither.
But as I told Doug Singleton and others, as this has come up over the years, I'm not trying to rub it in. It's just like, I'm not trying to be like, I want you to fail, and nor am I trying to be a cheerleader. It's more like, I see what this is, and it doesn't look good.
It's a train wreck coming.
Come on, guys. And I hate it for the folks who actually do love whitewater sports and rafting and stuff. Like, they probably have a good old time down there. But,
I would be interested to see the attendance numbers. They're probably really
well, we're going to miss a bunch of May, so let's hope June is a banner month.
Let's hope.
Anyway. Should I go ahead and play this song?
Yes, I think you should. I'm waiting to hear it.
Okay. Yeah, this is a song. I wrote it when I was like 22.
You wrote it? Okay.
I wrote it. Yeah, I sat down and put the
music.
music.
Where were you at 22? At Auburn?
No, I had just moved back home.
Okay. From where?
From Auburn.
Okay.
I just graduated.
You just came back home.
And it's before I started living at the Animal House.
Yes.
And that was a rowdy time.
That was
talk about unclean lips.
Never do
and
wells,
needing forgiveness of sin.
That's right.
Yeah.
You were living in sin, bro.
Definitely. Like crazy.
You're
like,
okay, though.
I've been thinking about it a lot of late.
I know. Maybe that's why you've got all this angst. You're like, the things I know.
I feel better than I have in years.
But that.
Maybe in 20 years.
Good.
But, so it was before I moved there. It's that in-between period for a few months where I'm living with my folks.
Right.
And it was the space above the garage that I was living in.
Cool. Very cool.
And it was nice. This where my dad had an office for a while, like an actual working office with multiple employees. We did it quietly, without the homeowners association getting to know what we were up to. I can remember. That's what's so cool about music for me, at least. Like it can take. It's like a time machine. I can remember exactly where I was at, and when this one came to me. So I wanted to bring it back to life. And because I can't sing. I was like, let's make this, instead of like a pop rock thing, let's make it a country thing. In fact, let's make it a female like country thing.
Okay.
So I guess this is called I Hope Heaven Finds You. Let's listen in.
It'll happen someday. She'll forget about you. She'll forget about all your lies. slice of truth. I swear I miss you from happy days past, back when I always thought love would always last. Oh, I hope heaven, oh, I hope heaven, oh, I hope heaven finds you. Someday I'll call you. Someday we'll try to reconcile all the days that we let slip by. I'll try to forgive you, but I'll never forget. I learned my lessons from all your regrets. So I hope heaven, oh, I hope heaven, oh, I hope heaven finds you. Oh, heaven finds you. Oh, yes I do. Oh, heaven finds you.
Carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Yes?
Yeah, I'm Bill. You called about some breakers tripping?
Oh, yes, Bill. My brother-in-law says you can do almost anything.
That's me. Not much I hadn't seen.
Do you really want someone who does almost anything in your electric box? Think about that, because each year thousands of home fires are caused by faulty wiring. That's why you want a professional, like the electricians at Crosby Electric.
Bill, how's it going? Bill, ooh, are you okay?
Oh, yeah, well, I didn't really need my eyebrows anyway.
At Crosby Electric, all technicians undergo rigorous safety training, as well as background checks, drug testing, and continuing education.
Bill, you think maybe I should call a real electrician?
No, these little slip-ups happen. Everybody does it.
Really?
No, not really. When you need professional electric work, or you just like someone to assess your home for safety, call the experts at Crosby Electric, 272-2085, or visit us at crosbyelectric.com.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a man from outer space.
What's up, Earthling?
I see you've landed your spacecraft over there in that field.
That's right, man.
My question is, why have you landed here on our planet?
I came to see David Ernest.
The asset preservationist?
Yeah, man. I wanted to see if he would take a look at my portfolio for me.
Well, before you make the trip over there, call him on his toll-free number, 833-596-7233.
733. And I understand those last 4 digits spell out the word safe. That is correct. Funny thing happened the last time I came to Earth. What was that? I went to the Walmart, man. Yes. And I accidentally went in the back door. How did that work out? Well, they stopped me and very gently told me that I needed to go around front and come in. And then what did you do? I said, cool, man. Take me to your greeter. You flew millions of miles just for that. Hey, man, I don't write them. I just read them.
Hey, this is Lyle from Margaret's Exquisite Jewelry, and I do my radio advertising on Blue Water. I'll tell you what, I use most of the stations, and I've been using it for so long. It's hard to tell with the money you spend on advertising if it does any good. When they come in and say, I heard you on the radio, I know it's Blue Water, and I love Blue Water.
Blue Water Broadcasting is the #1 most listened to radio group in the River region. Find out how to put this reach to work for your business. Call us to find out how we can help. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folk helping local business.
Trust is the #1 reason why a patient chooses a healthcare provider. Adams Drugs has been your trusted healthcare provider since 1962 and has been voted the #1 pharmacy in the River region for many years. We strive each and every day to provide you the level of healthcare you have come to expect from Adams Drugs. The employees at Adams Drugs take pride in developing relationships with their patients, from making sure your prescriptions are filled correctly to getting to know you and your family's needs and following up on any questions you may have. Adams Drugs employees deliver top-notch service. We ask you to visit us at any of our locations in Montgomery, Prattville, Wetumpka, Millbrook, and Pine Level Marbury and give us a chance to earn your business. You can find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Don't miss the River Region Healthy Living Expo happening Thursday, May 14th from 10 to 2 at the shops at East Chase. From senior health to total wellness, it's all here and admission is free. Learn more in the Check It Out section at WAKA.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
We've got a beautiful first half to this week before a midweek storm system approaches. Today, sunshine and warmer with a high temperature up to about 80. Clear skies tonight, not as cool. Overnight low temperature down to about 51. We'll be in the lower 80s with lots of sunshine tomorrow, Tuesday. Probably upper 80s on Wednesday with the risk of a shower or thunderstorm by Wednesday afternoon. But the better chance of rain and thunderstorms, maybe some strong, possibly severe in the overnight hours Wednesday night in through early Thursday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Big dreams for your home on a tight budget? AFE's $26.26 as you covered. Unlock your home's equity with just $26 in closing costs. No fees, no headaches. Visit your local ASE branch today. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. NMLS number 420259.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico here in the studio with me. And You can always call at 334-272-9228. I was about to go, whoever called in, but guess we won't. But again, that's 334-272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And there at Pest Pro, Ashley and that great team are ready to help you out with any and all of your pest control needs. And 'tis the season. Especially if you, maybe you had somebody come around and you're still seeing a lot of stuff. Yeah. Well, why are you going to call that same company back? Don't do that. Instead, go with great local folks who are a true success story coming out of the pandemic. I really started with two folks, Ashley and Zach, and it's now developed into this booming business. Amazing. Love seeing their trucks around the river region.
Down by my house.
I love the wrap job on them too. Beautiful.
Yeah, cool.
That's very cool. And of course, they can help you with basic pest control. They even have a monthly subscription package that covers the basics. And on top of that, you can add mosquito protection service. It might be right now you need to take care of the mosquitoes because you like being outside and they're already eating you up.
The fire ants are bad out where we're at.
Yeah,
too, man.
maybe you need special fire ant treatment, especially you got dogs, kids. Yeah. You don't want them accidentally running into all that stuff. And maybe a squirrel sneaks into your place, or a raccoon, or God forbid, anything even worse gets into the crawl space. They can help you out there with wildlife control services. And don't forget their termite service they also offer. So check out Pest Pro today. You can always learn more at ppsriverregion.com. Or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces or call them direct. 265-9990. That's 265-9990. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Troy, those fellas on the radio, sent you. So, yeah, I just want somebody to steal that from me.
I think, listen, I'm not gonna go into the details, but like I said, you obviously have a gift for certain communicative mediums. I'll leave it at that. So,
well, I appreciate that. Yeah. Now, another story here locally.
What we got?
Auburn University, my alma mater.
Yeah.
If that's how that's even said.
Loveliest town on the plains.
Indeed. A village, a town, a city. And it's kind of grown a bit.
Is it true is it true that it derived from an Irish poem?
I have no idea off the top of my head.
So I looked into it, and I asked Grok, and I confirmed it. There's an Irish poet that talks about the loveliest village on the plains, and he has some connection to Alabama, and I'm not sure. I have to look more into it, but I found it interesting.
Yeah, there's something about that. I went to my cousin's wedding out there, and it was on one of these green plains in Auburn, just farm country, right outside of the city proper.
Yep.
And now that I think back, it's a line in the Old Testament. It's in the Sacred Heart Litany of desire of the everlasting hills. And there's something very Tolkien-esque, C.S. Lewis about that. Yeah, just the rolling green hills and the mountains that never go away. And Auburn's definitely got something going on there. But apparently their counseling program, according to 1819 News, always shined a negative light on white males.
Really?
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah. That's a shame.
What could possibly go wrong with that?
Counseling students at Auburn enrolled in required courses within the program have been exposed to radical and divisive ideologies through course content and assignments with an ingrained bent towards notions of institutional, if that's how it's said, institutional structural racism.
Oh, wow. That's
the course, Pound 2000, titled Living and Communicating in a Diverse Society, is described as, quote, a class developing cultural competence in context of relationships, issues, and trends in a multicultural and diverse society related to such factors as culture, ethnicity, nationality, age, gender, sex, orientation, and mental and physical abilities and disabilities. Oh, goodness, I can already see where this is going.
I know.
A student wishing to remain anonymous shared course material with 1819 News, noted that, according to the instructor, the material on intersectionality and critical race theory is required by Auburn University's curriculum. It was not left to the instructor's discretion. No matter what module we were in, whether it was on racism, feminism, transgenderism, ageism, it always shined a negative light on white males, the student said. Well, yeah, because you ain't those things.
That's right. You're not in charge. We are.
Oh, that's just a shame. I can understand that people have different experiences, but can't we do this from the basis of human dignity, that we're children of God, not this sort of oppressor or oppressed thing?
Didn't our founding fathers set that forth? Yeah. Was it not already been enumerated in that you cannot go on race or on age and all that? That's a given. This is a construct of the left.
That's just such a shame. Anyway, let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's us?
I'm sorry. They A door. That's Hal. You said Hal. So you said that Auburn is calling this a HAL, H-A-L something project. What?
Yeah, I think he meant the title of the course. It was
COUN 2000.
Yeah. What would it be? Communications?
Yeah.
Okay.
Living Communications.
Yeah.
I got pieces of it because, it comes in one ear and gets scrambled up before it goes out the other.
Sounds like me.
You were doing an ad for a moment there as I was listening for Pest Pro.
Mm-hmm.
A new gentleman who is new with them, one of their inspectors, was just here, dealt with hornets that were living right up to my front door. Very nice gentleman. He's new. So I asked him what radio stations he's listening to. I didn't get the chance to tell him about your radio station yet. And those are good folks.
They really are.
They're going to come do the injection that goes under my pad with that stuff to kill the termites.
Awesome.
So that was why I thought they were coming today, but this was new gentleman. His name is Parker. He is inspector with him, so he popped in, took care of some bug stuff for me with biting monsters at my front door. So
Joey's shivering right now. Joey's terrified of flying stinky.
Yeah, that I am. I think I'm accursed a little bit in that regard. But I appreciate the call, Crawdad, and thank you for the shout out to Pest Pro. 272-9228. Go to line 3 here on there. Who's this?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, just a little help on that. In 1770, a poem by Irish writer Oliver Goldsmith with the opening line, "Sweet Auburn, loveliest village of the plain."
That's what I thought.
Where Nelson and Plenty cheered the laboring swain. So there you go.
Thank you for that confirmation. I had read that, and I couldn't remember who it was. And what year was that, in 1770s, you said?
70.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, good. Then I feel like I paid attention.
A little bit, yeah.
War Damn Eagle.
War Eagle.
War Eagle, y'all. Yeah, let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hey, Simpler Days. How you doing?
Hola.
Well, I just want to let you know I was a victim of that Auburn discrimination. The first Auburn game I ever went to, I had a drink poured down my back, and I had my Alabama gear on, and I got treated miserably. So I want to attest to that white male discrimination. It's been going on for years over there if you wore a certain color.
Well, I mean, is this discrimination or is this called consequence?
Well, winning and losing definitely has consequences.
It sure does.
We know.
But you know what? You know what I like about LSU fans? Can I say this? Those Simpler Days. When I was at Ole Miss, they'll feed you. They may beat you, but they're going to feed you. They're going to feed you well. I had always good experiences. I know some people go, "Oh, they're terrible." It just depends. Up in the Big Ten, people go, "Well, when Alabama played Penn State, they were treated so well." Well, they were dropping urine bags off the stadium on Ohio State fans when I was there. So it's just, like anybody. It's people. It's people.
Well, I went to an LSU game, and they kept trying to feed me a corn dog out of a whiskey bottle and tried to get you to pull it out with your mouth there, and that was kind of awkward, especially if you were consuming alcohol. But anyway, talking about Whitewater, we could have had a wonderful aquarium. There's not one in Alabama.
You're right.
And every age, every race, every group of people could have enjoyed it 365 days a year, taking your grandchildren to it. It could have been a freshwater aquarium down there on the Alabama River.
Very nice.
Very nice. But because one powerful rich woman strolled into the strange mayor's office with this concept, here we are.
Wow.
So I think as a line item, because she works for the state now, I think she ought to pitch in a line item in her budget to help us bail this thing out. Y'all have a good day.
Thanks, Good one. Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
This is Bob.
Hey, Bob. How you doing?
All right. How you doing?
Good.
I was interested to hear your caller was an Ole Miss graduate, correct? I mean, not your caller, but your co-host or whatever he is.
No, I believe it's Ohio State.
I am a Buckeye.
Oh, you're a Buckeye. I thought you said Ole Miss.
No, I went to Ole Miss. Listen, so I went Ohio State and Ole Miss for my master's degree. So I've got a little bit. I'm kind of schizophrenic between the SEC and the Big Ten.
Well, okay, I'm an Ole Miss graduate.
Hotty toddy, man. Hotty toddy. Yeah.
Hotty toddy. Well, see, listen, I was there when Archie was a student.
Wow.
And we all took psychology in this huge auditorium.
Yep.
You know, everybody had to have it.
Yep.
So they'd call a roll back then. They'd say, Archie Manning. And this quiet voice in the back of the room said, here. And you know, all those jocks over there were loud and boisterous.
Sure.
But Archie, man, he didn't want any attention called to himself.
That's amazing.
He was just such an humble, quiet guy that, and you know, he's been that way all of his life.
Yeah.
But this is a funny story, though. Tuberville was on your talk radio show one time, and I called in and I said, Coach, Ole Miss has never been the same since you left us like you did. And he was quiet. He didn't know what to say for a minute. And he said, well, y'all got a good coach now.
You know, it's funny, Bob. Tell our listeners, what is the speed limit around the Grove? It's Archie's number.
Yes, absolutely. Can you believe?
Yeah.
You know, he had two sons.
Yep.
And now he's got an arch over at Texas, and now Peyton has another kid, 14 years old.
Wow.
Saying he may be the best one ever.
You know, I heard a story that the uncle of the father of Arch was actually the most gifted athlete of the Mannings, but he never ended up playing college football because something with his something with his legs or something. Have you know that story?
No, it was his spine.
Spine. That's what it was. Yeah.
They said if he got hit, he would be paralyzed or dead.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Don't play football.
They said he was a stud. They said he was a stud.
Yeah, he was. He's older, and he manages their money for some investment firm down in New Orleans.
There you go.
Don't throw that guy a surprise party.
Well, anyway,
Hotty toddy, gosh almighty, man. Let's go.
Appreciate the call. We got to hit this break. Hopefully, we will have Austin Branco on the other side.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Couldn't get Austin Branco on the line. I think he's tied up researching, doing business.
Over there.
Say that again?
I said a lot going on over in the Gulf with the oil prices fluctuating again.
Just a bit.
So, yeah, he's probably out there.
So, folks, if you're looking for a great team, that includes, of course, Austin Branco runs the brokerage desk there at Invista Advisors. And, of course, Brant McDonald, you've heard him for years on these airways with Greg Budell as the chief strategist over there at Vista Advisors. They can help you, of course, with your investments, with your stock portfolio, or just generally managing those assets. But of course, they can also help you beyond just the investment side of the house. If you are looking for financial planning services, whether you're running, say, a small business, or maybe you started a nonprofit and it's been successful and now it's getting too big for you to kind of do on the fly by yourself, Why not have some of their consultants come and look at that for you? Could be you're starting out a new family and you're looking to lay down the groundwork for taking care of the kids as life goes on, whether it's college funds or just making sure they're all right, whether or not they go to college. Trade school actually looks pretty good these days.
Pretty good right now. Yeah.
Skilled trade, you can make pretty good money. But things like life insurance, and of course they can also help you with end-of-life concerns, make sure everything in terms of your estate is tied up. So check them out today. You can always start that conversation with Invista Advisors at 387-0094. That's 387-0094. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Troy, those fellas on the radio, sent you. Alan Mendenhall should be joining us any moment now. So look forward to talking to Alan about the wretched SPLC.
What's there to talk about? There's a lot to talk about.
Oh, there's a few
They
things.
had a now hiring sign down
Plus,
here.
also, it seems like the Supreme Court here in Alabama took Alan's advice from one of his op-eds recently.
I saw that.
Like, we're going to talk to the wind in a second, folks. He's the wind behind people's sails, making good decisions.
They call him the breeze.
Alan Mendenhall after this break. Stay tuned.
From the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The U.S. military says it has sunk 6 Iranian small boats that were targeting civilian vessels in a latest test of a new ceasefire. Earlier, the military said Iran had launched missiles, drones, and small boats at ships the U.S. is protecting in the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. Central Command says 2 American-flagged merchant ships were safely headed on their journey after transiting the Strait of Hormuz. European leaders say President Trump's decision to withdraw U.S. troops from Germany, fresh proof that Europe must take care of its own security. 3 people have died, others sickened in what health authorities say is a hantavirus outbreak on a cruise ship in the Atlantic. Hantaviruses exist throughout the world and are spread by contact with rodents. There is no specific treatment or cure. This is SRN News.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a super fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. But wait, there's more. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be switching to an American wireless company that's committed to keeping 100% of its customer service in this country. I appreciate that. In fact, that's why I switched. I also appreciate the way they support our vets and our skilled workforce. Dial pound 250, say micro, and get unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. That's pound 250 micro. Stop paying twice what you need to pay for the service you want and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something.
Rich Thomas Weather brought to you by M&M Outdoors. Book your stay today at MNMCampground.com for relaxation at its best. It's easy to find and hard to leave. M&M Outdoors, your home away from home.
Rich Thomas Weather.
We've got a beautiful first half to this week before a midweek storm system approaches. Today, sunshine and warmer with a high temperature up to about 80. Clear skies tonight, not as cool. Overnight low temperature down to about 51. We'll be in the lower 80s with lots of sunshine tomorrow, Tuesday. Probably upper 80s on Wednesday with the risk of a shower or thunderstorm by Wednesday afternoon. But the better chance of rain and thunderstorms, maybe some strong, possibly severe in the overnight hours Wednesday night in through early Thursday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When the heat hits to the river region, don't wait. If your AC quits, Hands Heating and Air offers same-day service, or your diagnostic charge is free with their Comfort a Day or You Don't Pay guarantee, plus 24/7 service with no overtime charges.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. The Alabama legislature is back in town to begin a special session today. Governor Kay Ivey called the session following a Supreme Court decision regarding how congressional district maps are drawn. The governor stated she expects the matter to be completed within 5 days. Alabama's May 19th primary election is still ongoing as planned. A Montgomery County man has been sentenced for raping and unlawfully imprisoning 2 women. Reuben Atkins pleaded guilty to the charges and was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Court documents show that Atkins lured female victims to his house and sexually assaulted them. He then demanded money in exchange for their release. Montgomery Whitewater is searching for a new executive director following the departure of Jason Wilson. The change comes just over a week after the park halted water activities to make repairs to its filtration system. An official statement said Wilson's departure had nothing to do with the shutdown, and water activities are expected to resume on June 1st. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. Here in the River Region, thousands of hardworking folks will be buying a home, some for the first time. How do you know you are buying the right home? It starts with research. A buyer's agent can help you in your search, providing a list of homes you may not be aware of or know about. At the same time, a meeting with a local lender to find out exactly what you qualify for and how much it will cost at closing and monthly. A list of needs and wants provided to your agent will help them locate properties that match those needs. An example would be bedrooms, baths, school zones, floor plan requests will also help. Start shopping and look at homes and compare and make a list of pluses and minuses for each home. Compare them with your agent to narrow the field. After you work out the contract, appraisals and inspections come next, and then the closing. For more details, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 221-2883. That's 221-2883.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Again, thank God for another beautiful day. So far, it's been a beautiful show, and Montgomery needs a new mayor. Yeah. And also, Montgomery needs to just get rid of. Now, by get rid of, I think the SPLC should just share or sell all their possessions and give it to the poor of Montgomery. Joining us now, we have Alan Mendenhall with the Heritage Foundation. Alan, how are you, sir?
I'm great. How are y'all today?
Very good. Better than I deserve. And what do you think of that idea? It would be downright Christian for them to just sell all their possessions and give it away to the poor of Montgomery.
Yeah, it would be in keeping with their mission, but not their practices.
Now, the other day I read your op-ed on air here, SPLC and the map that ate the territory. But for those who weren't listening or haven't read it, love to revisit this idea, especially when over the years, like you see, okay, the reenactment of the March of Selma to Montgomery, there is always, it could be that or it could be something else. There's always that other element that is the supposed hate group, and it always to me didn't seem real. Like I've lived in Montgomery and Alabama my whole life. I don't think I've met a KKK member, at least not one that was upfront about it. Like it just seems like something from a bygone era, and yet they needed that demand. So, in your experience, especially for folks who didn't hear the op-ed, like how did you get introduced to this idea that maybe the SPLC was laundering their own, say, competition or hate themselves?
Yeah, so I guess the story you're referring to is in 2015, I was working at the Alabama Supreme Court as a staff attorney, and that was the 50th anniversary of the Selma to Montgomery March. And it was a big event. Barack Obama was there, George W. Bush was there, and all these marchers reenacted the march. And they came up through Dexter Avenue, and I walked down from the Judicial Building down to Dexter Avenue to watch. And it was a really, really moving experience until it wasn't, which is when I saw this guy. I'm trying to think how to describe him. He had a beard. He was in a uniform of some kind, and it had all kinds of iconography on it, badges and insignia. And I didn't know what it all meant, but it was clearly some kind of at least Klan adjacent outfit. And he was surrounded by photographers, I guess journalists, taking pictures of him. And I happened to be standing next to this black lady, and I forget what I said, to which she responded, "Oh, that guy is just getting paid by the Southern Poverty Law Center to sit there and make Alabama look bad." You know, and I was stunned at the time, but now I'm not so stunned. In fact, over the years, I was increasingly convinced that woman was right. Now, I don't know. I don't know who she was. I can't verify what she said. I have no idea if that was true or not, but it always did stick with me because it was just such a memorable and strange thing. And now when I see all these charges from the indictment, I'm like, oh, well, this makes a lot of sense. I'm actually not surprised to see these 11 criminal counts.
Yeah, and it's something people have suspected for years, and folks that were run out on a rail were suggesting, like what I'm thinking of, the kind of, he's a bit of a shock jock, but I like him a lot. Gavin McInnes was taken on the SPLC for the longest time, and there's just a lot to this that a lot of folks suspected over the years. But you also, in the same essay, had another sort of run-in where you saw how things can go sideways all of a sudden. This is when you were much younger. Like, there are very real matters of justice and matters of dignity, but then there's also these moments where the theater takes over and where I've been saying this for a while, especially now with the redistricting that's happening from the Supreme Court decision, the Calais decision. And like, we have been doing the reenactment so much, it's like we seem to have lost the original, the original copy. But you have actually experienced something like this in your life as well.
Yeah, on multiple occasions, and sometimes dealing with the news. But the story I told in the op-ed for 1819 involved Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, which I went to college in Greenville, South Carolina, where Furman University is. I went to Furman University. And in those days, Greenville County did not recognize an MLK holiday.
Yeah.
And this was sort of an annual protest event around that holiday. And I went to a county council meeting with my college roommate. And in those days, as an undergraduate student, I was on the left back then. And so I was this young lefty going through the line and wanting to witness something historic, which I did. I met Jesse Jackson. He gave me one of these like hand clap things. Yeah. We gave each other a hug, a little embrace. It was kind of a cool moment. But as we waited in line, I don't remember how long we waited in line, but in my mind, it was a very long time. And we waited, and you had to go around the building, and there were these two older white gentlemen behind us, and they were in coats and ties. There was a tall one and a short one, and the older one, the taller one was very opinionated, and basically was giving you youngsters, you're getting brainwashed by your professors kind of thing. What are you doing here? You know, you need to think for yourself. And at any rate, we get up to the front door, and in a very complex situation, this woman materializes virtually out of nowhere, and she's pushing a younger black guy. And when I say younger black guy, younger than the older men that were behind us. He was clearly much older than we were as college students. But, you know, although he was confined to a wheelchair, he had big biceps, a big upper body, like he'd worked out or, whatever. And she wheeled and cut in front of everybody who had been waiting in line for, I don't know, potentially hours. I really don't remember how long we waited in line. It was a long time. And it was frustrating, but my roommate and I said nothing. But the guy behind me, the taller one, said, "Excuse me, Buster," or words approximating those. I don't remember exactly what he said. I know he said Buster. I don't, I think it was "Excuse me, Buster." He said no bad words, no profanity, no epithets, nothing like that. And the guy in the wheelchair reached up and grabbed him by the tie, yanked him down to his lap, got him in a headlock, and didn't throw any punches. But by the time that had happened, law enforcement just descended upon the scene and whisked away the older white man. And all of a sudden there was a black pastor that came there, and he put his arms around the guy in the wheelchair, and the news cameras were everywhere, and they were all taking pictures of the guy in the wheelchair. And this became an inverse of what in fact happened, which was the older white guy had been assaulted, and the black guy had done the assaulting, but had cut in line. And all of a sudden he was cast as this victim of racial violence, which was not at all what happened. But that's the story that played out in the media. And it was so surreal to see it happen before my eyes, where a situation that didn't happen was reported as the truth. And so I could kind of see how these stories get manufactured. And what's so troubling about all of this to me, and I say this in the op-ed from last week, is this is cheapening the experience of real racism. It's stealing from the genuine dead to fatten the accounts of the comfort of the living. In the case of the Southern Poverty Law Center, if these allegations prove to be true, they're exploiting Black people to make money. And I came up with a few analogies last week when I was doing some kind of media hits on this. And I said, this would be like if you had like some kind of nonprofit fire department, and it was paying an arsonist to go out and set fires so it could go put the fires out, or a glazier that was hiring some kid to go out and break a bunch of windows so the glazier could go around and repair all the glass, or an antivirus software company paying someone to infect all these computers with viruses so the antivirus software company can make money. And then the last example that I came up with is it'd be like a security system hiring a bunch of burglars to go break into houses so they could have a business. Yeah. And what's so odd about the Southern Poverty Law Center's model, as against all those, is that it's ideological. Their business model is predicated on the spread of hate. And if there is not, in fact, hate spreading, if hate is actually decreasing, if hate is on the wane, then their business is drying up. So they have to manufacture hate to give people the impression that hate is widespread and ubiquitous. Otherwise, their business model goes down the drain and they can't raise money.
Yeah, and then you would like for the state of Alabama, in particular, you called out the two friends of yours running for attorney general here in the great state of Alabama, to look into state charges for what the SPLC was up to.
Yeah, so we've got a federal indictment now, and that case is ongoing. And to me, it looks as though it could be the beginnings of a RICO investigation. Yeah. Right now, only the organization itself has been charged, no individuals, but this could lead to a RICO. But yeah, why are the state attorney general candidates, the two leading ones, Jay Mitchell and Catherine Robertson, not talking about this? I think I laid out a few options, if I can remember them. There's theft by deception, charitable fraud, unlawful solicitation, falsifying business records, and criminal conspiracy. But there's no RICO. We don't have a state RICO. But those are all things that that the SPLC could be investigated on, potentially prosecuted on. And I think that the state attorney general has a duty to look into whether the Southern Poverty Law Center violated those laws.
Here, and I got to ask you as a quick aside, and I suspect this is going to happen to me more and more if I keep doing this job, doing this gig, and I get to know more people, to where you really do have two friends running against one another. And like right now, Robertson and Mitchell are just goring one another in terms of the ads and saying that's not true, it's defamatory and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I mean, just on a personal basis, like how do you just stomach this when you see folks that are normally lovely, brilliant people, and then you see the campaign start, especially, we're a couple weeks out from a primary. Just how do you swallow watching this?
This has happened to me a number of times. The two biggest examples are back when then Justice Tom Parker ran against Chief Justice Lynn Stewart. Lynn Stewart is my second cousin once removed. And Tom Parker, I'd known my entire life. His mother-in-law brought my grandmother to Christ. They both were at my wedding, my first wedding, not my second wedding. And so I'd known them both my whole life, and that was awkward. But also, I had worked for Luther Strange and Roy Moore. I'm the only person who had worked for both men. And pretty recently, before that special election took place. And so that was awkward because I had that was a big national media race when it was Roy Moore and Luther Strange, and they were going neck and neck. And I had national media, New York Times, all these people trying to get me to say something negative about one or the other. And I would never do that. I would never say anything publicly negative about either one. But I got so sick of being contacted by the media. Who knows how they got my cell phone number, but I got so sick of it that I ended up writing an article for the Washington Times talking about what it was like to work for both men. And again, in the article, I thought it was fair. I didn't favor one or the other in the piece. I didn't criticize one or the other in the piece. I just talked about their personalities, what it was like to work for both people. So once that article was published, whenever somebody would reach out and say something about one of the two, I would just text that article. Everything I wanted to say is in here. You can read it for yourself.
Well, and it's a shame. And I guess I'm sensitive to these bad faith moments. And I mean that, I guess, in the existentialist sense of like where you're playing the certain game to win political office, and that complicated, interesting, nuanced person, you have to still play that game. So you end up like, sometimes the negative ads is just the way to go. And this is what the consultants are saying, and you're going that direction. And I've seen it on a few of these cycles now where what happened? Why are we? And I think it's just the nature of our politics. Sometimes it's sort of going for the lowest common denominator.
Yeah. I'm not the type of person that would want to run for office. It's just not what I would want to do. I feel as if I can accomplish a lot more outside of that political sphere because I tend to talk to people in basically every office. Definitely every branch. I talk to people in every branch of government on probably a weekly basis, if not more often than that. And I could never do that if I had aspirations to run for politics or then I would become a threat to people and, all that. Yeah. And that's just not, just not how I operate. I don't have any interest in holding office. And it is unfortunate how politics gets a little ugly. And I guess I get it. I understand it, but it is unfortunate. We'd like for it not to be, but it's part of the system, I suppose.
And now hello, Jeff Deist. I got to mention Jeff Deist. I agree with him that you would make a great governor, but from what you said, I this is why I love you. I think you know the lay of the land and what some of these jobs imply, but having seen the King visit America, the King of England last week, can't we have like a ceremonial, like governor, king? And I think you would be really good at that job. Like just be able to remind folks of the principles that we're operating on.
Well,
I have something for you, Alan. I have something for you. When you were a Furman Paladin and claimed to be left, remember what John Adams said: a boy of 15 who is not a Democrat is good for nothing. And he is no better who is a Democrat at 20.
Well, I'll tell you what the major issue is I was very, very into foreign policy at the time. Not that I'm not now, but I was very into foreign policy. And my very first day of college, freshman year, because Furman started late, was 9/11. So I walked out of Philosophy 101, the very first class I'd ever taken in college, or whatever it was. It may not have been called Philosophy 101, but that's essentially what it was. And I was walking back to my dorm, and I ran into a guy named Jonathan Horn. And he is a guy I played Little League Baseball with who knows how many ages ago. I guess at that time it must have been 12, whatever years ago at the time. But it seemed like ages when you're 18. And he said, have you seen what's happened? And of course, he went through the whole thing. And I didn't really even understand what the World Trade Center was. I didn't understand when he said a plane crashed. I was thinking this little small plane or whatever. Anyway, the invasion of Iraq happened and I didn't support it. And I didn't like George W. Bush's foreign policy. And I thought that put me on the left. And I was an English major, an impressionable English major who was sort of under the spell of his professors. But I realized later on that in fact, that sort of neoconservative foreign policy was more of a betrayal of the historic right than an alignment with it. And so I evolved, I changed my view. I realized, gosh, I actually am conservative. By the time I graduated in 2005, I moved to Japan and I found Japanese culture to be incredibly attractive. The deference to elders, the reverence to elders, the reverence towards history, the culture, the politeness. It was incredible to me, just a sense of identity that they had and solidarity. And I started reading, of all things, Russell Kirk and Mises and Hayek and Rothbard. And so I got this free market economists that were going to my brain. I hadn't read economics before. And now I was studying economics, but I also had the conservative thing. And I remember having this revelation. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm a conservative. What am I going to do now? How could this be? Oh my goodness. Yeah, but I love Japanese culture. Just reminded me so much of sort of traditional Southern culture.
It's very orderly. It's very orderly, and it's extremely deferential. The brief time I was there, it's incredible culture.
Would love to visit one day. And before I let you go, we got to touch on this also. State Supreme Court severs relationship with Progressive American Bar Association and sets cap on bar exams. And I believe you were suggesting this just a few weeks ago.
Joey, I've had people say to me, why write op-eds? You don't really accomplish anything by writing op-eds, but that is not the case. And I think 1819 News has demonstrated that with a number of articles, but in particular, I think my op-eds on Regions Bank did a lot. And I feel as if this ABA op-ed did a lot. In fact, last Thursday afternoon, I was speaking at a fee event in Atlanta, but before the event started in the afternoon, I just got into the venue. And one of the Alabama Supreme Court justices, I won't say which one because he probably wouldn't want me to share, but calls my cell phone. I pick it up and he starts telling me about the order that they had issued that afternoon, just basically saying we're not going to be dependent on ABA accreditation for our state bar admissions process anymore. And that to me was evidence enough that my op-eds had an effect, because why else would he have called me? He could have called anybody, why call me to tell me? And I'm very, very happy that the Alabama Supreme Court did the right thing here. They're following in the footsteps of Florida and Texas, which did this early in the year. I think we're going to see a chain reaction where many red states do it. And, our court was somewhat diplomatic about it. They didn't just trash the ABA the way kind of like Texas and Florida did. I took a lot of pleasure in that, but we were a little more diplomatic about it and reserved about it. And I respect that too.
Yeah. And there's something about it, not to get too about writing, but there's something remarkable about the op-ed essay form in particular that I still think is one of the most powerful ways if you're trying to reach a few people or reach a single person. It is a great way to put your mind, your brain in their brain and really hit somebody between the eyes with an idea. And I don't think there's anything else like it. And I've been astounded at the power of that at times. And, in this world where it's tweets and it's long form podcasts and it's talking, there's something still very powerful about the written word to a point and purpose that can actually change things.
Yeah, totally. I think my piece next week may be different. I haven't started it yet, but last night when I went to take a shower before I went to bed, my tankless water heater was out. And so I've been showering in the freezing cold, and I don't know what my point's going to be yet, but it's frustrating enough that I think I might have to write about it.
Well, this time flew by, and I always appreciate your time, Thanks. Alan. If folks want to check out your work outside of just hearing you here on the show, how can they do so?
Sure. Just visit alanmendenhall.com or go to the Heritage Foundation's website and look me up there.
Thank you, sir. Talk again soon.
Thank you, guys. Thanks.
Again, Alan Mendenhall, folks, always appreciate, as I said, his time. Yep. 272-9228. If you want to get in on the conversation, this part of the program brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage.
Oh, yeah.
And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you with buying a home if you're looking to do a home purchase, especially if you're a first-time buyer. I can't think of anybody better. In fact, they're like the best, if I can put it that way. Especially if you're trying to learn what the process is about. Yep. They're going to get you in the right direction. And it could be you call them up and the first thing they're going to ask is about credit. Like, what's your credit score? Where are you at? And, the first time I talked to them, they're like, oh, Joey, you have none. So I'm like, well, what do I do? And Kim gave me a few tips on how to start getting credit built up. And the plan is going quite well, actually. But of course, before you go shopping online or shopping in person in the housing market, you need to get pre-approved. And that's always the first step. Do not skip that first step. And of course, they'll tell you that they're at Alabama Home Mortgage, and they can walk with you every step of the way, all the way to closing day. They're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Or if you're looking to refinance to get debt off your back, maybe shore up a retirement fund. It could be your burn rate's a little too much at the moment. Or it could be you want to reinvest in the property or the family or go on the big vacation. It's your money. You built up this equity.
And veterans better go there.
Veterans, they specialize in helping veterans at Alabama Home Mortgage. In fact, they have veterans in their blood, so they take it very seriously. They stay hip to the latest of what's going on with the VA mortgage, and it is the best deal in town. You're leaving money on the table if you're a veteran or you're not using it, whether for buying or refinance.
That's right.
So check them out today. Again, that's Alabama Home Mortgage. You can always call them direct to start the conversation at 567-4223. That's 567-4223, or apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 special. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector. That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig? No, but it looks like you do. And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich? What's that? I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man. You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist? That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE. You know, I've heard a lot of the good things about David Ernest. You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience. Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold. That's right, man. And I can see that you don't have very much experience. What do you mean, man? Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach. Yeah, man, well, I want to start out small and then kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich. Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first. You think he's got a shovel? Never know till you ask. I dig, man.
Don't miss the River Region Healthy Living Expo happening Thursday, May 14th from 10 to 2 at the Shops at East Chase. From senior health to total wellness, it's all here and admission is free. Learn more in the Check It Out section at WAKA.com.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
If you've ever wanted to be in business for yourself, but not by yourself, and didn't know where to start, Janney King Gulf Coast has already built a foundation for you. With guaranteed initial customers, hands-on training, and ongoing local support, you'll never feel like you're doing it alone, because you won't be. For over 35 years, we've helped people turn their dreams into real successful businesses. Take the next step. Discover a business built for you at JaneyKingCleans.com.
It's time to show Mom how much you appreciate her with a Jenny Lynn's floral creation for Mother's Day. Skip the grocery store flowers and make one quick call, 285-1000. Roses, lilies, beautiful bouquets, and gift baskets designed just for Mom. Call Jenny Lynn's Creations, 285-1000.
At Blue Water Broadcasting, we believe great advertising starts with relationships. That's why so many local business owners trust us, not just for radio, but for digital too. If you're already running digital advertising and you're not seeing results, it may be time to explore your options. Our team takes the time to understand your business, then builds custom campaigns using a multi-channel conversion-focused approach. So whether it's digital display, social media, or you need help increasing your online presence, Blue Water Broadcasting can help. Before your next campaign, let's have a conversation. Visit bluewaterbroadcasting.com.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
We've got a beautiful first half to this week before a midweek storm system approaches. Today, sunshine and warmer with a high temperature up to about 80. Clear skies tonight, not as cool. Overnight low temperature down to about 51. We'll be in the lower 80s with lots of sunshine tomorrow, Tuesday. Probably upper 80s on Wednesday with the risk of a shower or thunderstorm by Wednesday afternoon. But the better chance of rain and thunderstorms, maybe some strong, possibly severe in the overnight hours Wednesday night in through early Thursday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Legend Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Legend Floors and More across from Delray to Publix.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
There are those that think I'm a very stable genius.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico here in the studio with me. And on the phone, we have Papa B calling in. Hey, Papa B, how you doing?
Hey, guys. Troy.
Hey, sir.
I like your song, Joey.
It's great.
Yeah, real good. Real nice. I got a song, too. I'm going to get you to throw it AI sometime or other and see what you can come up with.
Okay.
But that's not one that we'll share on there.
this is like a David Allen go.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to miss that guy. So somebody said the other day, when you think about rednecks having a little tailgate party out in the woods, that was the theme song every time, the David Allen Code. What, I was drunk the day my mom got out of prison, whatever the name of that song.
You don't even call me by my name.
You don't. No, that's what it is. You don't even call me by my name. Yeah, that one and what was the other fashionable song at the time?
He had
My Ding-a-ling.
He had an X-rated. He had an X-rated album for sure.
I'm not gonna. No, that's not what I'm talking. But anyway, so just real quick, the movies. I'm sick of them. I'm tired of the spectacle. The Mandalorian, I was just sick of.
Mm-hmm.
It was always two, conflicts and a, revelation, and each time one of them had to do with a cave of some kind. These people were real creative, I'm telling you. So I'm a sci-fi guy. I like sci-fi, but I'm kind of just getting tired of it all. I'll probably watch the Dune movie.
Dune, those movies are good. I'd say those are pretty good.
I mean, the guy that's playing Muad'Dib, that buttless wonder, he'd probably run screaming like a girly man if he ever got into a real fight.
Oh, you're talking about Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah. His name says it all.
Sounds French to me. It sounds like a Frenchman.
French to me. So yeah, and what's the girl's name? She's pretty tall, skinny. Shaka Zulu, or whatever her name is. That's in that movie too. But the one I'm really looking forward to is critically acclaimed, and this one is going to speak to our generation. Wile E. Coyote versus Acme. This is the one I'm truly looking forward to. You don't think so?
No, I haven't even heard of this.
I think Joey, this might be a little bit beyond Joey.
Oh no, I watch Looney Tunes. How dare you?
Okay.
I've watched Looney Tunes.
I just didn't know if you know what Cordy went, or Froggy went to court and he did right.
No, but I haven't even heard of this. What is this?
Tell us.
Wile E. Coyote versus Acme. Oh, they had tried to ban this movie.
Okay.
And I'm serious.
Okay.
Look it up.
All right.
No. I'm looking forward to this. They even got Foghorn Leghorn. So
I say, boy.
anyway. Yeah.
How'd that go over today? There's so much humor, adult humor in those Looney Tunes that go past kids.
Fortunately, I keep my feathers numbered.
That's right.
So it's going to be released August 28th. It's a live-action animated hybrid film about Wile E. Coyote suing the Acme Corporation.
Suing the Acme.
And with Will Forte as the Coyote's lawyer. Okay, John Cena in it. Okay, that actually might be good. That might be good.
Now, but I mean, real quick, I guess I'm not surprised at it at all, are the blinders that are coming off of people's eyes, when all of a sudden they see, this edifice of the SPLC is all of a sudden falling. Oh no, the moral authority, they just gone, how could they? What? People don't know that this kind of thing's been going on for a long time. I mean, I appreciate your last guy that you had in, the fire department that creates its own fire in order to respond. Did he not see gangs in New York? It's been going on a long time. And the antivirus company that goes out and makes viruses so it can sell antivirus. Well, has anybody heard of McAfee? It's been happening a very long time. But I'm glad to see that people are wising up to it. Finally, this is a good thing.
Well, the con is very old, but it's always a matter of is it actually going on with those folks?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess I'm just jaded, old.
I like that.
I've seen it all. I know what evil lurks in men's hearts and seen it all happen before. But anyway, yeah. So this is kind of a big turnaround, though, and I think this is the main thing, that there was such a moral authority that was ascribed to the whole civil rights genre with the SPLC and all of its heroes and everything. And now to see, that's really not how it is. Or at least not anymore. I'm encouraged about it, Joey. Troy, what do y'all think?
Oh yeah, I think there is a move in that direction, and I think it's just a matter of time doing its work.
Yeah.
Like I've been calling for a while that these are the death throes of liberal boomerdom, and they dominated things for a long time, and some of it's also them abusing that moral authority, like taking that, going to the bank, and they've run out of currency at this point.
Yes. Amen. Well, I'm just going to say one other thing, and I don't know what's going to happen or anything like that, but just remember, every time I've seen something like this, when the law starts closing in on the Democrats, they light a fire. So whatever documents anybody wants to get down there, they better hurry up and go get them. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it. 272-9228. Good call there. That's 334-272-9228. Now, quick clip here. And again, this plays into kind of the conversation we're having.
Okay.
But this is the Artemis II crew. And last week they did another sit-down interview, but this time they did a town hall where all sorts of children could ask questions. And a cute young black girl with glasses, a little nerdy, she was like, I want to ask you about being the first black guy, or I think she says person of color, to fly around the moon. Asked that of Victor Glover. And Victor Glover just continues to be a rock star. This is a fantastic answer. Let's listen.
How did it feel to be the first person of color to fly to or around the moon?
You know,
good question.
Amaya, thank you for the question. And I will tell you, one of the things about swinging for the fence and trying to, hit a home run when the game is on the line is, if you think about that can add pressure and make you not, go up there and play your best game. And so I focused a lot on working with this team and trying to be a good teammate, trying to be a good teammate to them and also receive from them their good teamwork. And I think one of the reasons we were as successful as we did is we spent a lot of time thinking about us and not me individually. And so I would answer this by maybe just making a visual lesson here that I spent a lot of time thinking about this patch and not this patch. And now we get to be here and we get to talk about it.
He motioned toward NASA, the U.S. flag patch, and the
military aviation wings.
and his name, like Victor Glover. He wasn't thinking about his own name. But
Yes.
I love
that guy is
ace class.
Yeah,
He's
high
class.
class.
He's real class. Yep.
And you love seeing it. I've been impressed with all four of them, honestly, and their answers and them dealing with the press. You're great human.
The astronaut program is very discerning, and it's very it weeds out a lot of people, but you still have the freak, like the girl that drove in her diapers across the country with her stun gun and her duct tape.
But you definitely, on a psychological level, cannot let certain people be in space.
No. That they weed that out. He's ideal. So,
amen. Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this? Hello.
Joy Show.
This is you're on the show right now. You're on the air.
Some difference coming over the radio.
Yeah, we're on a delay, man.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, turn down the radio.
All right, this is Don. And Ewoks, really?
I thought they were pretty cool as a kid, man.
Well, okay. I guess they're good to cuddle with if you can't find anything else.
Well, they also helped destroy the Empire. It wouldn't be able to destroy the Death Star, without the Ewoks.
Too, a great feast at the end for
him. Right.
All right. Now, I had said something. It's probably not like anything been talking about today. It's just a little something off the wall that I got to thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
And Socrates once was supposed to say something like, true wisdom comes from knowing you know nothing.
Yes.
And you're probably going to think that I'm about the wisest man you've talked to all week.
Yeah. Knowing our own ignorance is the beginning of knowledge. That is certainly true.
Well, I've been shown it much times. No, I hadn't thought about this for a while. Then I saw some videos online about how advanced China was with their drones and everything. They had like 22,000 drones being synchronized, ballet and whatever off of one laptop computer. And then I saw on the news that there were Iranians being stopped trying to get into the country. And it reminded me that we've got a lot of they're more probably more anxious to get into the country and deal with us from inside than doing something outside. And kind of like the aircraft lined up side by side out at Hickam Field just before Pearl was bombed.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got a gentleman here in studio that's been really on top of this and with his friends as well. And like the new technology, we need to be ever vigilant especially when you see, for instance, what the Ukrainians have been able to pull off against the Ruskies, and just how difficult sometimes just even for the U.S. Navy to deal with small drones and small vessels in general.
Yeah. What it got my attention were the F-35s out at Danley. And I'd looked up, just seeing, what kind of security they had, and about the only security upgrades that I was seeing online was some things on supply facilities and simulator facilities that are supposed to be finished up this year, and everything else came up from AI, from other online contributors, mainly about the lack of security, the need for advanced perimeters, things, thermal imaging, measures against drones, hardening of hangar structures, things like that. And I guess, down to it, my question is, has anyone heard of any, real solid, evidence or anything that they're trying to do anything about some of these real soft targets that are out there, or are they just keeping their head in the sand?
Well, here's what my understanding is, and thanks for the call. I wrote an article in 1819 News, so it's near and dear. And if you stay tuned, you'll hear another piece I just did on Substack that goes a little further about the problem. But the thing is this. It's funding. It always comes down to funding, okay, and prioritization of requirements. And when Colonel Cinco Doug DeMeo was here, he went and got $77 million from Richard Shelby, and he got $22 million from Tommy Tuberville during his time in command there, because he saw the challenges that were endemic to that airfield being an open airfield with a very, very limited security posture. He sought to replace them and put them at Maxwell and some other facilities in Birmingham where the KC-135s are at. But that's for whatever reason that could not happen. So here we are, 5 years later with the same problem and a much more persistent and sense of urgent threat against us by peer adversaries and non-near peer adversaries. So to answer your question, I know that after we published on 1819 that they had a bunch of SF security force troops from Maxwell over there reported to me, so they know about it. But what are they doing, Joey? It's anybody's guess.
Well, and getting top brass to actually move on this.
Yeah, it's going to be hard.
Takes a while, but great call. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
272-9228. Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey guys, this is out of the blue too. I'm calling because Amazon says they're going to do their own logistics, and it's just sunk UPS, FedEx, all of them out. And I'm just wondering, in y'all's opinion, y'all have heard the statement FAFO?
Yes.
You can do that. And I think Amazon, to try to take over the world, they're fixing that FA and FO really bad. But I'm not shielding for Amazon anyway. I mean, hey, we've all used Amazon. I love them, whatever. But they fixing the FA, FO big time.
So
appreciate it, Robert. Appreciate the call.
Yeah. So I have a little bit of expertise in that. When I was the terminal manager for UPS International Heavy Freight for 3 years over in Hopewell, we handled a lot of Amazon material, and it was viewed as bad freight, meaning it was damageable, it's losable. And so when they got away from that, and I thought, when they said, hey, we're going to start our own logistics branch, I thought, good luck with that, because it's a lot deeper than just buying some trucks and getting some drivers. So
we got to hit this break. Hopefully we have Michael Cohen on the other side.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Clogged drain? Overflowing septic? Don't panic. Call the experts who've been solving plumbing problems in the river region for more than 50 years. The Tierce family's local Roto-Rooter team specializes in fast drain cleaning, septic repair, and installation. One call and your troubles are on their way down the drain. That's 272-7130 or visit rotorooteralabama.com. Roto-Rooter, always here when you need us.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And we throw troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
You want your floors to scream new, fresh, and stylish. But if yours are groaning, tired, old, and outdated, you're in luck. Because at Prattville Carpet, you can revitalize your floors while you save on the best brands available with perfect and professional installation and Prattville's unbeatable lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
Start shopping for your floors right now at PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Accurate, immediate, carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico here in the studio, and let's go right to the phones and talk to Michael Cohen with Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are y'all?
Good, sir.
Life's good. Very good. Tell us about the Cohen's experience there today.
Well, the Cohen's experience today is going to revolve around some outdoor furniture.
Yeah.
We've got some really nice furniture made by a company called Coastal, and you can get different colored backs for it, different colored seats. You can get armrested or wooden. You can get them that are metal. You can get a one seat. You can get two seats. You can get 28 seats. You can do them straight. You can do them in a curve. You can do them with tables. Sounds like a Dr. Seuss deal. Green eggs and ham, but you can pretty much get them any way that you want them that fits your decor, because what fits your decor may not fit the next person's decor and or the grandkids' decor. So you do have some options with them, and it's really a neat company.
Yeah, I always love what's the word, modular. Yeah, where you can really make it fit your own space, and especially it's getting that time of year where you want to hang out, especially these few months, and you've invested in the backyard. At least have something great to sit on and enjoy that space.
That's right. We can get 2 or 3 months now. We'll take a break for a couple of months, and then we'll come back and get another 2 or 3. But come see us and check out this new seating arrangement that you can have for your outside. Oh, they also make a really cool table, like a coffee table, and you can get it in 2 different ways, with teak wood or just, I think, with a metal. So come see us and bring some measurements and some pictures of what you're trying to upgrade, whether it's appliances or electronics or some furniture, and let us help you make the right choice.
Again, folks, that's Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. You can always go to thinkcohens.com or just call them direct at 277-8890 if you want to ask an extra question. Or, of course, the best way to deal with them is stop by, see them in person at 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. They're open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And find Michael, be like, I heard you on that radio show where Joey was way too happy that day.
He may have been happy because Eddie was AWOL.
That's right.
I don't know. I think he found a spot in Costa Rica he wants to buy. And I'm like, oh, no. Oh, no.
He's trying to get out of paying that real estate commission, I'm sure.
I still think he's CIA. The way he dresses, the way he carries himself, the fact that he has the history with his, the Air Force and moving all around the world.
If he's CIA, then I want to tell you something. We're in a world of trouble.
That's what he wants you to think. That's what he wants you to think.
Yeah. He could be like R.J. Decker.
That's right.
Well, I appreciate it.
Come see us. Have a great day.
You too.
272-9228. Again, that's 334-272-9228. Yeah, coming up after the top of the hour break, let's definitely get into your latest thing you've written up. And this is about, the continuing threat of drones.
It is called The Danger. It is called just a little preview for you, and it's pretty in-depth. It's The Dangers of the New Battle Space, and it's called Commercial Tech's Asymmetric Hammer versus America's Conventional Military.
Ooh, I like the title of that. I like that a lot. Real quick before we hit this break, let's check to see if there's anything like breaking local.
I was looking for international.
No, nothing I'm seeing here that's too crazy. Nothing too crazy.
Did you see the 2 American soldiers that fell off the cliff in Morocco?
No.
They're on a training. They were with one of my old units, the 173rd Airborne. They were training in a war. It's called, I think it's called African Lion, is the exercise with the Moroccans, Algerians, and they went missing, and they found them. They fell off a cliff, which I don't know if it collapsed from under them. It was on the oceanside cliff. Yeah, it's terrible. So,
and then, of course, Rudy Giuliani hospitalized in critical condition.
Ugh, sorry.
Yeah. How old is he? Is he in his 80s at this point?
He looks like he's Walking Dead, but that's just me.
Let's go to line 1 real quick. You're on there. Who's this?
Hi, it's Debbie.
Hey, Debbie.
Well, I won't take too long. I was going to make a mention. The UPS in our area, I think it went way downhill when they closed the main center in Montgomery up.
Yeah.
I had tried to get something. There was a package that was not left at my door, and I tried to get a hold of them.
Yeah.
No way. All the numbers you call, forget it. They don't work.
They don't call UPS the unhappy people service for no reason.
Oh, tell me about it. But but I was going to ask you what you knew about this thing with Trump in Germany and him saying we're going to pull our people out and yada yada. I mean, I heard a little snippet. I haven't had a chance to really go into it much. And now NATO, I'm personally great with that. Go ahead and leave NATO. I'm happy. I mean, I don't care. The man that's been running NATO for I don't know how many years now, has not impressed me. So
Mark Rutte. Mark Rutte. Yeah. You know what's funny that you say that is, do you know what Eisenhower? Remember General Eisenhower, who was our president after World War II? You know what he said in 1951? He said, if in 10 years we find ourselves still in Europe with NATO, it has failed miserably.
Yeah. I don't care about NATO, but what about the Germany thing now?
Yeah.
Is there any reason that we should be doing that other than I know we do a lot of training over there. Not us being trained, we train them.
We do joint exercises with the Bundeswehr, which is the German army, and other branches, the Luftwaffe. But here's what you need to know: 5,000 troops are being pulled out. It's going to be an armored cavalry regiment that leaves still 25,000 more troops there. So it's just a repositioning and using them somewhere else and taking some of that.
Like Poland?
Yeah. That's where I'm hoping they go, and that's where I hear they're going.
Okay.
Our best ally on the continent. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
They're not trying to. Thank you very much.
They're not trying to. Yeah, they're not trying. Just for your caller, no, they're not. They're just repositioning some of their forces. So yeah.
Yeah, Poland, maybe Estonia,
Latvia, Lithuania.
We're going to the Baltics, boys.
I told you to go there, find you a girlfriend.
It's not the worst idea in the world. We'll be right back.
From the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Medication is one of the main ways abortion is provided across the nation. And today, the U.S. Supreme Court has restored broad access to the abortion pill mifepristone. The order allows women to obtain the pill at pharmacies or throughout the mail without an in-person visit to a doctor. The U.S. military says it battled Iranian forces and sank 6 small boats as it moved to reopen the Strait of Hormuz.
It'll happen someday. She'll forget about you. She'll forget about all your lies for her own slice of truth. I swear I miss you from happy days past, back when I always thought love would always last. Oh, I hope heaven, oh, I hope heaven, oh, I hope heaven finds you. Someday I'll call you. Someday we'll try to reconcile all the days that we let slip by. I'll try to forgive you, but I'll never forget. I learned my lessons from all your regrets. Oh, I hope heaven, oh, I hope heaven, oh, I hope heaven finds you. Oh, heaven finds you. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, heaven finds you.
Has now been located off the coast of Dauphin Island. 20-year-old C.J. Pitts fell into the waters while he was trying to untangle fishing line off of a pier. His body was located this past Sunday. A grand opening ceremony is happening today in Dothan for the Wiregrass Innovation Center. Governor Ivey will be in attendance for this ceremony, along with other state leaders and leaders from the Wiregrass region. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
It's tax season, and by now, I know you're a bit tired of the numbers, but here's an important one you need to hear. $16 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud. Not all grim news. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second for your personal information and alerts you to threats that you could easily miss on your own. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's U.S.-based restoration specialist is going to fix it. Save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK, 1-800-LifeLock or LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Final hour of the program. Thank God again for another beautiful day. Truly is a beautiful day. So far, it has been a beautiful show. And Montgomery needs a new mayor. Troy Carrico here in the studio with me. And we now want to turn to you, Troy, because, well, you've been on top of this, and so many folks are now getting wise to the latest in drone technology and other technologies that are reshaping threats and threat analysis. So the floor is yours, sir.
Let me preface this reading with something that I got to thinking about talking to a couple of my close friends. I've got a group of Marine Sergeant Majors retired that I'm very close with, and a couple have called in here before, Brian Battaglia and them, and we talk about, we're all grunts. We're all what we call grunts, which are infantrymen. And I said to them, and we pose questions and we all debate on it. How would you like to be an infantryman today, where the sky has no cover, you have no concealment, the eye can see you at all times, and we've seen the brutality of it in full bloody technicolor from the Ukraine fight. So it's one of those, as I think about this, and I'm thinking, why is this important to me? Because I was an infantryman and an infantry officer, and I would be very, very remiss if I didn't say that I would not want to be in that probably right now. So it's the dangers of the new battle space, commercial tech's asymmetric hammer versus America's conventional military. So here's the deal, everyone. Some jerk with a laptop and a couple $100 from Amazon can now turn the sky into a murder hornet's nest. That's right. Commercial off-the-shelf drones and platforms aren't just tech toys anymore. They're precision-guided flying FUs that make multi-million-dollar tanks, ships, and jets look like expensive piñatas. The math is brutal. A $500 FPV drone or a $1,200 agricultural drone could smoke a $3.8 million missile battery or a $55 million aircraft parked on the ground. And they can even do it while potentially flying in the air. That's not a fight. That's robbery. Ukraine turned this into a blood-soaked masterclass. FPV drones, often built from hobby parts in a cottage industry or straight DJI kits available online, swarm like pissed-off wasps. They've taken over about 65% of all Russian armored vehicles, to include infantry fighting vehicles, self-propelled artillery, and tanks, according to credible reporting. One operator, one cheap drone, one multi-million dollar asset turned into a heaping, steaming pile of scrap. The drug cartels in Mexico and South America oddly started this trend nearly 2 decades ago as they attacked competitors' labs in the bush by dropping hand grenades from the air. Then ISIS was doing this crap when I was over recently in Mosul, flying DJI Phantoms, dropping grenades on us while we were there, and we claimed to have air superiority, yet we scratched our heads what to do. Visionary thought leaders admitted these commercial platforms gave enemies temporary tactical superiority in conventional operations. General McKenzie called it at the time the biggest tactical headache since IEDs in Iraq. Here's the problem. We've known about this threat for nearly 20 years, yet we find ourselves on the wrong side of the cost curve, and it's not even close. These threats are asymmetric as hell. Near-peer adversaries like China, Russia, sure, they can scale it, but any 2-bit militia, cartel, or Houthi strongman with a smartphone can now project air power. A kid in a basement modifies a DJI Mavic or a Phantom 2 with a grenade, and suddenly your forward operating base is under constant threat. Speeds are climbing now, Joey, with average DJI models gaining speed, range, and flight time every year. The latest FPV variants that are available online hit about 100 mile per hour, and with reaction windows shrinking down to seconds. Swarms overhead overwhelm expensive countermeasures. Jamming, you want to jam them? They'll go autonomous, or they'll go fiber optic network. One agricultural drone like the DJI Agris in Ukraine hauls almost 90 pounds of 90 pounds of gear, enough for a very serious explosive charge or even chemical crap. This isn't sci-fi. This is Amazon Prime warfare. Our doctrine, tactics, techniques, and procedures are sorely myopic. We're still mentally stuck in a world of big platforms, mass formations, and predictable logistic tales. Ukraine showed a transparent battlefield where massing troops or moving armor without drone cover is suicide. NATO exercises get wrecked constantly by drone saturation when they're fighting wargaming against Ukrainian forces. And the Ukrainians, they just treat it as another day in the field. Our TTPs for concealment, dispersion, counter UAS are playing catch up still. The first Americans that got droned in these fights here recently are learning the same hard way Ukraine did through blood. You don't rewrite muscle memory from PowerPoint briefs. You got to get your nose bloodied, adapt or die. Unfortunately, as Churchill lamented, America's choosing the slow, wrong option and to the path to right. Acquisition, however, is the real bloody crime scene here, folks. The Pentagon's bureaucratic beast takes nearly 12 years to field a new weapon system. And I said 12 effing years. I'm not going to say it online. By the time it rolls out, the commercial world is iterated 5 to 7 generations ahead at that time. The M7 rifle, case in point, with the U.S. Army, Joey, which was fielded in 2025 after nearly 9 years of acquisition, is now finding that the round used, 6.8 by 51 millimeter, is already obsolescent. The rigid linear processes lock in requirements years before delivery, guaranteeing obsolescence. It's not keeping up with the tech trend. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, all chained to the same sclerotic system that rewards checking boxes over speed, relevance, and combat efficiencies. It's a conventional war mindset in a world where innovation cycles are measured in weeks, not decades. Replicator and DIUs are Band-Aids. The core incentives are retarded at best. And they're getting rid of the best practices. They're ignoring they're giving up protecting jobs and satisfying every spec in lieu of that. Layer on reviews until relevance is dead. Meanwhile, adversaries and even allies like Ukraine iterate in real time using commercial crap. Scalability is where America should dominate, but we currently choke. Commercial tech scales like crazy right now. Millions of DJI units being pumped out. Open source mods, 3D printed parts, open architecture, garage fabs. Ukraine's pumping out hundreds of thousands of drones a month. Our system, it can't surge. It can't adapt. It can't get good enough, quote, into the fight fast because it demands perfection wrapped in 47 layers of oversight and a multitude of checkboxes. Systemic issues compound risk-averse culture, misaligned incentives, and a defense industrial base optimized for exquisite platforms instead of attributable swarms. The result, we're vulnerable everywhere. CONUS and OCONUS, that's continental United States and other overseas continental United States bases abroad, which is ships at sea, even domestically where legal requirements make counter-drone work a nightmare. This is a brave new world, folks. Force protection postures that worked against insurgents with RPGs and sniper rifles are laughable against persistent drone strikes. Any adversary, not just a near-peer adversary, any adversary can now harass, surveil, and attrit our forces at pennies on the dollar. Ports, airfields, logistic nodes, even CONUS installations like Danley Field are in play for the enemy. The democratization of lethality means the barrier to entry for challenging the United States power has collapsed. One guy with a drone swarm could tie down battalions. Scale that to state actors, and it's existentially dangerous. We're not helpless, however, but the window is closing quickly. The military needs to deconstruct the old model and embrace nouveau iterative acquisition that pulls commercial tech aggressively, rewrite doctrines around drone-saturated environments, train like Ukraine's fighting force for survival, and accept that good enough today beats perfect in a decade. Blood in the nose might be the only teacher that sticks. The new operational battle space doesn't give participation trophies. Rather, it gives Darwin Awards to the dirty, nasty infantry legs on the ground and incriminates the slow bureaucracies. It's time to move out smartly or get nailed.
You're here. Laid it all out there. And where can folks find that online if they want to read it themselves?
You can do that at Blackbird Deuce, which is my Substack account, which is gaining a lot of momentum. I'm enjoying that platform immensely because I can drop fire truck words on there if I want, because I'm the editor, Annie. I'm the editor. But anyways, it's you do there, or you can find I have it linked also on my Carico at Carico Troy, CARICOTROY on X. So yeah.
Well, and I appreciate the insight. And,
well, it's scary. It really is.
It would be nice for people in charge to wake up to this, but especially with that acquisition part you're talking about. This has been known for a long time, and it's so obvious at this point that this is for money and political clout. This is not about actual lethality and being on the true cutting edge, which is so frustrating because we do, as a culture, and especially in the United States military, have the best minds to be the leading edge of all sorts of tech, but their efforts don't seem to actually... Now, I don't know. Like, there's something wrong with government when it works like initially. Like the Manhattan Project's probably the most successful science experiment ever accomplished, and it was government run. But there's something about when it gets captured by the interest groups and it's not to the point and purpose of what is actually being made for. Well, we get these issues.
Well, Mike Rogers, who sits north of us here, you can ask him those hard questions. Why does the acquisition process take too long? It's part of the military-industrial complex. It's a self-licking ice cream cone that only gets bigger each time you lick it. It doesn't get smaller. So,
and there's got to be a way to break up the old cohort. And, the problem is you'll need them for certain things,
Of course
obviously.
you will. Of course you will.
But, there are some up-and-comers. There are a few.
If you're a tech mind, if you're one of these young technocrats that I call them here in the United States that are people like Jared Cushman that's doing NASA, I would think there's going to be a huge market, and I know they are getting involved right now to building, up-ramping 3D open architecture printed drones that can be used in swarms. So there is a definite opportunity and a gap in the defenses of the military-industrial complex to be exploited by private sector.
And what,
right now. Anduril is one.
Comes to mind.
General Atomics is another. So yeah.
Let's go to line one. You're on the air. Who's this?
Hey, this is Sam. Hang on one second.
All right.
Hey, thank you for taking my call. This is Sam calling from Pike County. How you gentlemen doing?
Doing great, Sam. How are you today?
Right on. I'm having a good day, just taking care of a little bit of business, enjoying this weather.
Right on.
Troy, you said good enough today beats perfection. That reminded me of all the way back, something I heard back when I was studying German armor from World War II. Compared the comparison to it to the Russian armor, and the Russians, they once they got up and started making tanks, they would just weld them, slop them together. But the German armor, they said it looked like a new Mercedes rolling up. It was just absolute. The welds were perfect. It was beautiful. Had that new tank smell, all that. And in the end, it cost Germany because they were just outproduced. But that was my thinking on the drone thing. There's going to be a lot of pushback because, like our modern, our M1, whatever version it is, made stateside. They say they spread these the components out all over the state. Each state, different places are making the components for they're spreading the money out, which is wise to produce our armor and our aircraft. I completely lost it.
Well, while you're thinking, I'd offer this to you for your thought too. Right. Is this? Yes, when you're thinking about the acquisition cycle and the Defense Acquisitions Register, which is about, Joey, 3 phone books full. I mean, it's so restrictive and laborious. My thoughts are this. I would ask you to, since you're talking about it and thinking about it, consider the scalability issue. How do we make it scalable? We know we can do it. It's just, it has to be. And here's the thing that I've got right now, my hot spot, Sam, is right now, over in Troy, Alabama, near where you're at, where they got munitions being manufactured over there. They should be running 3 shifts, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, pumping out munitions. And we're not. We're still on that 1 shift a day, and it's going to kill us. I mean, one of the reasons we slowed down, guys, in the Gulf is we were burning through a lot of stock. So consider that.
And Lockheed here, they just got $110 million to build an extra hangar So they should. It'll be I think the third production hangar.
Yep.
Third or fourth, I forget. I just hadn't been over there in a while, and but that surprised me what you just said. I thought they would be, 24 hours a day.
They're not.
I worked at Sikorsky Aircraft for several years.
Yeah.
We're up here in Troy. I'm very proud of that. What we did.
They had great
That's
company. Great
Part
company.
of my aviation background. If you get me started on that. But one last thing though, talking about the deadliness of these drones. Remember a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, the Jordan Tower tragedy. The troops, I think it was killed 11 people. That one drone that flew in a tower.
Yep.
Yes, sir. No nets, nothing up.
Nothing.
It was just
nothing.
Yeah.
Well, listen,
right,
and here's the other thing, Sam. When you go, you can listen. My greatest fear is this, y'all. Some sporting event, Auburn, Alabama game, Ohio State, Michigan game. I don't care. Just pick it, a baseball game. I guarantee you there is no dedicated counter drone systems there. If they are, they're very meager and they can be overpowered. And that's really what I worry about.
Yeah. Hey, listen, thanks for taking my call, guys.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, man. Wish me luck. I'm dealing with the state.
No. Burn it down. Hey, my advice is burn it. Burn it all down.
No, man, it's just you smile a lot. Yeah, and you're patient. You smile. And
Okay.
Love y'all.
All right, later, man. Bye.
2729228. We cannot allow there to be an election that is conducted unconstitutionally simply for the convenience of state legislatures. If they have to vote twice, so be it. We should demand that state legislatures do what the Supreme Court says must be done. That is more important than administrative convenience. The byproduct is that the Republicans will receive more than 20 House seats in the upcoming midterms. President Donald J. Trump put that out earlier today. And the Alabama special session is getting underway to do redistricting. And apparently, Craig Monger's got a report that poised to further dilute black voting power. The NAACP leading demonstrations as the redistricting session begins in Montgomery. Yes, the NAACP is mobilizing citizens to the Capitol to demand, quote-unquote, fair representation in the proposed redistricting. This is, of course, after the Supreme Court's ruling in Louisiana v. Calais threw a wrench in American politics. In a 6-3 majority decision, the Supreme Court of the United States found race-based redistricting unconstitutional. The ruling will likely have major implications for congressional maps across the country, especially in Alabama. A federally appointed special master drew a map for the state to use in the 2024 election, and the state remains under a court order prohibiting the use of new congressional maps until after the 2030 census. However, Attorney General Steve Marshall filed emergency motions with SCOTUS after the Calais decision, and Governor Ivey announced a special session to redraw the maps starting Monday, today. In a release, the NAACP stated that it would host a march and a rally, calling on residents to show up, speak out, and demand that lawmakers draw maps that reflect the true diversity of the state's population. The Supreme Court's ruling removed a key tool used for decades to challenge discriminatory redistricting maps, leaving states like Alabama, where nearly 27% of the population is black, but only 1 of 7 congressional districts is majority black, poised to further dilute black voting power, the NAACP stated. Of course, the federal government has hampered the Alabama legislature's ability to draw its own congressional map after the 2020 census. Federal courts quashed the map lawmakers passed in 2021, claiming it likely violated the Voting Rights Act of 1965 by its perceived lack of black representation. Lawmakers passed another congressional map in 2023 to assuage the court's concerns, which was similarly rejected for the same reason. The NAACP's stated demands for lawmakers are as follows. Number 1, draw fair, non-discriminatory maps that provide Alabamians, black Alabamians, an equal opportunity to elect candidates of choice. Number 2, reject any attempts to further dilute black voting power in the wake of the Supreme Court ruling. Number 3, commit to transparency and community input throughout the redistricting process. Marshall's court challenges would have to be successful before the legislature could approve any reapportionment map. Well, if you want a lot more black voting power, you could go be Republicans.
Good.
Maybe change your opinion on a few of the political policies, and you can win a lot of elections in Alabama.
Yeah.
If you become a Republican.
That's what they did.
In fact, we might see this start to change a little bit.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. Here is Steve Marshall. He was on Jake Tapper
Yeah, Jake Tapper.
on CNN.
Yeah, Jake Tapper.
And short clip here. This is what the Attorney General, who is running for Senate, by the way,
Yes, he is.
had to say to Jake Tapper in Alabama wanting to make this move.
And look, Jake, Alabama ought to have the opportunity, as we've seen Virginia, as we've seen California, we've seen New York, to draw districts that are consistent with those who are seeking that representation. Alabama is a conservative state, and they deserve conservative representation. I'm going to do everything in my power to give the legislature an opportunity to draw 7 congressional Republican districts.
Yeah, but it's only in 17 days.
And look, Jake.
No, but it's only, but the time, you got to do it so fast. Like, well, okay.
We need till 2030, the tortoise said.
Yeah, give me a break. But no, things are moving along.
Yes.
And
expeditiously.
yeah, Steve Marshall also filing in court an emergency motion with the appeals court to vacate or stay the state Senate redistricting injunctions ahead of upcoming primary. And like here locally, it's so silly. Like 25 and 26, like Kirk Hatcher, Democrat, black Democrat, and Will Barfoot, white Republican, are just switching districts essentially.
That's what they're doing. Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know. The politics of the redistricting thing, it's interesting how folks continue to try to go back to the moral arguments. But again, the bank has been used too much. You've been hitting that feeder too much. Been using that moral authority way too much and for too long for things that probably shouldn't have used it for.
Because you have got me in a music mindset, I thought you were going to say the politics of dancing. The politics are feeling good. I thought that's what you were going with next.
Yeah,
we're back to the boring politics. Yeah. All right.
Now, in a second, I want to go to some more anthropological concerns.
Yeah, what do we got?
We're going to talk about women.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
going to listen to a couple people, a woman and a man, talk about women, and modern women at that.
Okay.
And why these liberated, empowered, equal, in the eyes of the law, women are so daggum unhappy. And we also have another clip because I am, I guess, kind of an equal opportunity guy. I'm actually a maximize opportunity guy.
You are.
We don't need equal opportunities. We need maximum. As many opportunities as possible. All sorts of different types of opportunities for people to get their foot in the door.
Yeah, opportunities to excel.
I don't want the same
to
opportunity.
excel.
I just want opportunity.
These are probably the same women that don't like you.
It's perhaps.
You talk about the women getting on you.
Why aren't men having kids, though? Like, I don't have kids.
Maybe they don't find women that are worthy right now.
There's something going on, man, because it's more than just like women and men don't like each other.
Yeah.
Something else going on here.
Demasculization.
We'll get into that in a second. This part of the program, is over. We have the next part of the program coming up, getting into the men versus women. We'll be right back.
Boys versus girls.
Joey Clark.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
When it comes to your mortgage, who you work with matters. And this is one decision where local makes all the difference. Don't fall victim to flashy mailers, spam calls, or 1-800 lenders who don't even know your name, much less your neighborhood. Those lenders are often sitting in some faraway state, reading from a script, and chasing volume, not relationships. A local lender understands the market you live in, or should I say that we live in. At Alabama Home Mortgage, you can look at us in the eye and trust us with one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. Local lenders don't disappear after closing day. Our reputation is built right here, one family at a time. So before you pick up the phone and call a stranger, remember us, Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon at Alabama Home Mortgage. You deserve guidance from someone who knows the community because they're a part of it. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
It's time to show Mom how much you appreciate her with a Jenny Lynn's floral creation for Mother's Day. Skip the grocery store flowers and make one quick call, 285-1000. Roses, lilies, beautiful bouquets, and gift baskets designed just for Mom. Call Jenny Lynn's Creations, 285-1000.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
2026 marks 60 years that hope has had a home in Alabama. At the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches, children who've lost everything through no fault of their own have found something priceless. A safe place to live, a loving Christian family, and the chance to simply be kids again. Here, boys and girls grow up surrounded by care, guidance, and faith, learning right from wrong, learning responsibility, learning they are valued and that their lives have purpose. As the Alabama sheriffs have believed for 6 decades, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women. These former ranchers are now teachers, parents, business owners, and leaders, living proof that love, structure, and faith can change a life forever. As the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches celebrate 60 years of serving Alabama's children, you can help ensure the next child has the same chance. Learn how you can make a difference at alabamasheriffsyouthranches.org. 60 years of building lives, and we're just getting started.
Don't miss the River Region Healthy Living Expo happening Thursday, May 14th from 10 to 2 at the Shops at East Chase. From senior health to total wellness, it's all here and admission is free. Learn more in the Check It Out section at WAKA.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC.
We've got a beautiful first half to this week before a midweek storm system approaches. Today, sunshine and warmer with a high temperature up to about 80. Clear skies tonight, not as cool. Overnight low temperature down to about 51. We'll be in the lower 80s with lots of sunshine tomorrow, Tuesday. Probably upper 80s on Wednesday with the risk of a shower or thunderstorm by Wednesday afternoon. But the better chance of rain and thunderstorms, maybe some strong, possibly severe in the overnight hours Wednesday night in through early Thursday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Big dreams for your home on a tight budget? AFB's $26.26 as you covered. Unlock your home's equity with just $26 in closing costs. No fees, no headaches. Visit your local ASE branch today. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. NMLS number 420259.
The mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hey, miss, I don't mean to be telling tales out of school, but there's a feller in there who'll pay you $10 if you sing into his can. I'm not here to make a record, you dumb cracker. They broadcast me out on the radio.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico been hanging out all day here in the studio with me.
Great day today.
It is a beautiful day
Great
today.
day.
And let's get into the men versus women thing, though it really isn't. It doesn't have to be a competition. We should compliment one another.
We should.
But this is a podcast that Elon Musk shared. It's a little clip from, I don't even know the podcast.
Okay.
But young man, young woman talking about modern women. Let's just jump right in.
Let's see.
Rachel, the average American woman is the most educated, most financially independent, and most free woman in human history. She's also the loneliest, most depressed, and least likely to have kids. Why do you think women are so unhappy in 2026?
That's the million-dollar question. There's actually been 2 large-scale studies done trying to answer that question. I think the first came out in 2009. It was called The Paradox of Declining Female Happiness. And in this study, the authors in their summary said that women have reported, this is based on women's surveys when you're asking women their opinion on how they are doing in life, how they feel about things. They're reporting higher levels of unhappiness, like you said, loneliness, depression, than ever before. So if we go back to the 70s, which is arguably kind of the tipping point where feminism became the dominant ethos. If you go back to the early 70s where they asked women these questions, they largely reported being pretty content. And now in the 2000s, we have 26% of all American women on at least one psychiatric drug. We have higher rates of fetal alcohol syndrome and alcoholism among women than we've ever recorded before. And women just overall reporting dissatisfaction, unhappiness, a feeling of being really torn, trying to have it all, trying to have a career and be a career woman and also have a family and do all of that. Women don't know what to do with relationships because on the one hand, they want men who make more than they do. They want men who are higher achieving than they are, yet this creates a paradox, whereas women have become the number one earners of college degrees. They have now got salaries that compete with men, and they've got more equality than ever before. They're finding that the men are not suitable to marry. They're finding that, they just can't find a guy who's on their level or higher, which is what they really want. So we've created like a paradox where by giving women everything that at least feminism told us they wanted, which was full equality, independence from men so that we could choose a husband based on, who we love and not who we need, that this would make women happier. And we're finding ourselves in a position where women are reporting the highest levels of unhappiness ever. They're actually even 3 times more likely than men now to have common mental health issues. Women have always been more prone to mental health issues than men since we started tracking that, but it's gone up. It's gotten worse. The disparity has grown. Women are finding themselves in a conundrum where they've got all the things that they were told would make them happy, and they're finding that they're more dissatisfied than ever. And what often happens, you'll see these viral clips on the internet of women in their 30s and 40s, sitting alone in their car crying, saying, I did all the things I was supposed to do. I followed the prescription and I'm unhappy. I'm stressed out. I'm alone. I can't find a husband. I won't have a family. Am I going to die by myself? What did I do? I can't go back. So for me, it's a really tragic thing for women.
So you would boil it down to women are unhappy because they're lonely, because they're not getting married and they're not having kids.
I think that's a big part of it. And I think it's also, we put so much pressure and responsibility on women to do it all, be it all, and have it all. I really experienced a lot of that myself in my early 20s. So after I got through K through 12 high school, I was always a smart kid. I was always in like advanced classes preparing for college. I was given the message that you're definitely going to college. You've got to go. You're too smart. You can't waste your intellectual capacity by not going to school and having an important job. That's what you're going to do, like from kindergarten on. And by the time I got done with 12th grade, I thought, I think I just want to get married and have kids. Like, I really just want to marry my boyfriend, start a family, and be a mom. Like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And, for all the studies and for all the, complications of modern living.
Yeah.
Maybe some of the old traditions in particular had this right.
I think so.
Now, I do wonder how many women are going to end up becoming nuns, and I'm not even making a joke.
Well,
maybe that is a way, and how many men are going to end up in things like the priesthood.
It's true.
Because of how long they waited. It's very possible. Now, just because it's not just the women, and you're circling around the same problem. People are not getting married and having kids. And so this is from Alpha Fox or whatever. Gavin McGinnis shared this up. Man, you think I got long hair and a beard?
Tommy Shaw's little brother.
Yeah, this guy looks like he'd be in the Allman Brothers
Sticks.
band.
Yeah,
Sticks.
Tommy Shaw. It's Tommy Shaw's cousin. It's his cousin.
Yeah, Tommy's great.
Tommy's the best, man.
Let's listen into this. This is on why aren't men having kids?
Okay.
I'm 30 years old. Not one of my friends has children. Zero. Wow. No one. No one's having kids. Do you know how hard you need to abuse a mammal to make them not have children. Like for real. Let's step here back a moment, right?
Never thought of it that way.
Yeah, look, GDP goes up. People have have enough food, and whatever. No one's having kids, and this is across the world. This is across both the West, the East, everywhere it's happening. So there's a thing that happens, especially with younger even younger than me. Like the kids are like 18 today. There's a huge problem where they don't dance. No one dances. They go to clubs and they don't dance. Why is this? Because you get recorded.
Yeah.
If you're an 18-year-old kid, you go to a club, you get recorded. If you approach a girl and you mess it up, you get recorded. Everything is the panopticon now. So if you had to ask me why, my answer is technology. My answer is social media. My answer is AI. My answer is algorithms. Do you know what dating app algorithms do? Do you know how they optimize? They don't optimize you to meet your love of your life. They optimize you to keep coming back to the app.
Yeah.
And now there's a thing that basically we have sold out all of our dating norms, all of our interpersonal norms to tech companies without our consent to optimize their ad algorithm. I think there's a deep thing where we as a society have not dealt with the fact that we have to steward technology responsibly.
Amen.
We have treated technology as a Wild West.
Absolutely.
Just everyone can do whatever they want. Just sell all of our younger generation's dating lives to corporations for profit. And who pays the cost for this? Who has liability? So I think the real problem is that we are, as a society, as a government, the generations that came before me, and also my generation, I don't want to exclude myself from this, but also the generation came before me, just let technology rip. The promise was, if you let technology rip, if you let internet rip, there will be democracy and freedom and happiness and economic growth. And where is that? And I think my generation is noticing that broken promise.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
And I'm older than that gentleman.
Right.
I'm certainly noticing it. It's a constant. There's a recurring theme, and the women thing I've brought up many times, and sometimes in a harsh way, but sometimes I mean it. Like, it is sad. Like, I know women who waited very long, and now the beautiful thing is you still have a chance. There is still time to start that family and to find that love of your life. But I've talked to women who are very successful people, like VPs in top corporations, and all their friends are having similar issues. And and I've seen it in my own family too. Like, it is amazing when, yes, you can get a great job and make a lot of money and have a life where you can go wherever you want to go.
But you're by yourself.
Exactly. And like, there's something that's much more worthwhile, and especially for men.
Yes.
I think, and I speak as somebody who's not a father.
Yeah.
I think there's a part of me that's missing, a call to responsibility that is missing as long as I am not a father. Now, I shouldn't go do it in the wrong way either, but like, you know what I'm saying, folks.
I do.
Like,
I do.
Because you are a dad, and so there's an extra sense, and it starts making sense of your very own childhood and your relationship with your parents, and it should be, for the most part. There's always, of course, exceptions to this rule, but the general rule for most of the population would be this: to find somebody. Now, also, as we covered last week, and there's plenty of secular folks and more liberal folks that'll point this out. It's like, well, actually, monogamy is kind of weird and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Monogamy is a very Christian thing.
It is.
In a lot of ways.
It is.
Now, it's not just Christian, but that's pretty much
very close to
what brought it about. When you look at, say, the older ways of organizing a society and organizing a household. And so I think as more folks go back to church, and young men right now are leading the way, but maybe one thing I'll have to think about and write about to really get my thoughts put together on this is what did happen to boomer men in terms of faith. Like, where are the examples, the elders? And I don't mean like, oh, you're old. I mean, like, where are the elders in terms of leading? And part of it, I think, goes back to the technology thing. It's not just, blame you and wag my finger at you. That's not what I'm doing. I think there's a lot of blame to go around, and that could just pull us down into a rabbit hole we don't need to be in. Yeah. I think what's happened is the world has changed so much technologically that the rituals that fathers would give the sons, they don't work anymore.
I call it the digital divide. You've heard me say that before. There is a digital divide now in modern technology. I mean, the advent of the highest technology we've had and the loneliest people that we have now. Seems like.
Yeah. And I mean, I admit I'm a product of that generation of what in all this change, and I've certainly felt the loneliness.
Right.
Now, what you realize, you're never truly alone if you got God.
This is true.
And you can always have hope for another day. When you actually, he has God, it lacks nothing. But it is, if you have that hope, you should put your best foot forward and recreate this. And I think this is going to come around. It's going to require some political changes, but mostly it'll begin in sort of the spiritual warfare domain. And I don't mean exorcists and people climbing on walls and stuff.
No.
What I mean is discernment of what is going on in your mind, what is capturing your imagination, what is occupying your time, your gaze, your where you are leaving your eyes, your focus, where your heart is at the end of the day. And I think everybody across the generations now, because of the technology, is very, very, very distracted.
They are.
And if we start winning that spiritual warfare, spiritual discernment, I think we will go a long way to solving the practical issues. Anyway, 272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. Got to hit this break. We'll be right back after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free. E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free.
At E-Bike Oasis, we're more than just Montgomery's best electric bicycle store. E-Bike Oasis offers free 1-hour electric bicycle rentals and a full-service electric bike repair shop. Stop by E-Bike Oasis in Montgomery today for free rentals, repairs, and electric bicycle brands in town.
I'm Brett Lanham from Benjamin Moore New Look, and we couldn't have imagined how easy, affordable, and flexible advertising on the radio could be. It has been near effortless on our part. You could say our last 2 years have been the best in 10 because of a skyrocketing GDP. I say it's owed to Blue Water Broadcasting and their advertising staff.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Now, that story, we mentioned in passing, is now the lead story at 1819 about Auburn University, the counseling program. And in fact, let's revisit that because we stopped short there. Where, in particular, during the course, and this is a course at Auburn about intersectionality, living and communicating in a diverse world. It was a comms department thing. Okay. But during the course, students were expected to complete different assignments depending on whether they were white or a person of color. In the exercise, the assignment goes through stages of lived experience, framing the white perspective as inherently oppressive or dismissive towards non-white individuals. Additionally, content in the class refers to the concept of reverse discrimination as a contrived concept created so that white people can avoid confrontations with actual racism. Comparatively, the same assignment and complementary course materials frame the experience for non-white individuals as one of inherent victimhood, whereas then possibility of reverse racism is non-existent due to structural and institutional racism. The student went on to note that after the class viewed a video on institutional and structural racism during the class, the instructor became very angry and upset when the student noted that while racism still exists, there's no systemic or systematic aspect. While substantial progress has been made on rooting out diversity, equity, and inclusion on college campuses across the state following the passage of Senate Bill 129 in 2024, which required the closure of DEI offices within state universities and prohibiting the teaching of concepts that by virtue of an individual's race, color, religion, sex, ethnicity, or national origin, the individual is inherently racist, sexist, or oppressive, whether consciously or subconsciously, or that any individual should accept, acknowledge, affirm, or assent to a sense of guilt, complicity, or a need to apologize on the basis of his or her race, color, religion, sex, ethnicity, or national origin. So, yeah, interesting how that still exists. And that came out from Clay Newsom, who's a student over there at Auburn University.
Good for him.
War Eagle. He's a graduate student over there.
Well, good.
Good job, Clay.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hang on.
This Ray.
Hey, it's Ray.
Hey, you're on there, man. What's up?
Sorry, talking to Dad, talking to y'all. How you doing?
Oh, we're good. We're very good. I'm almost
Yeah.
too good. I suspect myself.
Yeah, and I hear Mark's coming in on Wednesday, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. Well, did y'all have a good weekend?
Oh, I had a great weekend.
We really had a started out to be a great weekend. Turned out to be one of the crappiest things ever.
Oh no!
Oh, it's a story.
Oh.
So it's our anniversary on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
I take Angie to Red Bellows over in Montgomery.
Yeah.
Friday night.
Yeah.
But Taylor's home, so she tags along because she's a back home baller. Even though it's our anniversary, she's like, "Well, I'm part of the family. I'm going." We get home, finally get to climb in bed. I'm dead tired, and I hear Taylor, "Dad, Dad." I'm like, "When is she going back to Bama? This is not fun." "Dad, you need to get in here." So I get in. Fine, here I come, and I walk around the corner, cut the lights on, and Apollo, our Doberman Pinscher, had diarrhea.
Oh no!
When I say the crappiest weekend ever, I'm talking looked like an elephant was in the house.
Oh no!
I'm like, how did you have that much in you? This is impossible. But it was half on the rug and half on the hardwood floor.
Oh no!
And it's 11 o'clock at night.
Oh.
So I move all the furniture out of the way, get the best I can, clean up on the rug, roll the rug up, throw it out the back door, clean it up off the hardwood floors, Clorox it really good, and go to bed. Well, the next morning I get up and I'm thinking, man, I don't want to buy another rug. And they say this is pet proof. I'm going to try it out. So I take that joker out to the driveway, take my water hose and some Dawn dish detergent, and you know what? That thing came clean.
All right.
Good. No harm, no foul.
Except for now it's soaking wet, right? Because I hose this joker down, so I have it out in the driveway to dry. And we go off in town, and Sailor, of course, tags along, and she gets a phone call from one of her buddies. He said, "Are you home?" And he's like, "No." She said, "Oh, we come down to see." And I said, "Uh-oh, please tell me they're not parked on that carpet." They were parked on the carpet.
Oh, goodness gracious!
Now I got tire tracks on it.
Yeah.
So I called Marty Sutley today, had him come over and clean it, and you know what? That carpet looks brand new. Now I got things all around it to make sure nobody parks on it again. The tire tracks came out of it. The crap came out of it. I am here to testify that this pet-proof carpet, it works. It was amazing how clean the thing is. Yeah. So that's how my weekend went. How did church goes again? Because I bet it wasn't.
I made a couple songs, went to church, got some writing done, ate some delicious food. I don't know. I had no dog diarrhea incidents or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I'm glad the product is that good. That's awesome.
The product's that good. I was about ready to put Apollo on Facebook, but I said, no, I can't do that.
That's funny.
So if y'all need pet-proof carpet, I am here to testify it does work. So call us today at 285-8117. We'll come out and give you that free measurement. Next thing you know, you got to pour down.
Just that simple, folks. Again, that's 285-8117. And be sure to tell them you heard Ray Bowles talk about his crappy weekend on the radio with Joey and Troy.
Have a great day.
Appreciate you, Ray. So what did we learn today?
It started recreational. Now it's kind of medical. Killer parties almost killed me.
Trump hosts small business summit at White House.
Yeah, I saw that. I've been tracking it. He's got something.
He's kind of got a small business tie on today.
He sure does, doesn't he?
It's very much a small
dressed
business
apart,
tie.
isn't he?
And I guess we got happy hour coming up.
Yeah.
So how about this? Let's just end with that song again.
Yeah, I like that.
End up early. This song I wrote when I was like 22, and I was like, over the weekend, I want to make it come to life and make it sound like a lady country song.
Come on, Ella.
Somebody steal it from me. Somebody locally, maybe steal it from me. You know, because
I'll give it to you.
Seriously, I will give it away.
He's from Bama, I can tell by his teeth.
Here's the little ditty that I spun up Thanks for listening. Greg Beadle's next.
It'll happen someday. She'll forget about you. She'll forget about all your lies for her own slice of truth. I swear I miss you from happy days past. Back when I always thought love would always last. Oh, I hope heaven. Oh, I hope heaven. Oh, I hope heaven finds you. Someday I'll call you. Someday we'll try to reconcile all the days that we let slip by. I'll try to forgive you, but I'll never forget. I learned my lessons from all your regrets. So I hope heaven. Oh, I hope heaven. Oh, I hope heaven finds you. Oh, heaven finds you. Oh, yes I do. Oh, heaven finds you.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center.